Hello and welcome back to another episode of Candlekeep Mysteries, the Seal Pages of Verglas. We are the Rollers of Fate. My name is Mo, and sitting by my side soon will be Cisco. We are the DMs of this wild campaign, and uh, are these players who are everything they do is an incredible. Someone describe them and too, but uh, that does not take away from which is so true. It players. We have Luke, Andy, Joe. Say hello, players.
Hi.
Hello, you Englishmen
Beep,
and your damn censorship.
beep,
I mean, my kids
beep.
just listened, so yeah. Lucky and Mark is AFK today, so they and we will see them next week. On to the announcements. We are here on Twitch and on our YouTube channel, which is at Rollers of Fate D&D, where you will find us all our previous episodes, Diary of Observation, Dining of Barovia, and the Heart of War, which is the modified version of Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. If you want to be in touch, please do so at rollersoffatednd@gmail.com. And we have an X channel, which is at FateDND. Our games use adult language as well as jokes, situational themes, and so on and so forth. So you might want to kind of, if there's anything inappropriate you don't like, please step away, come back. We'll probably move on by then. And viewer discretion is advised. Thanks to Tessa Present and for other awesome maps that she provides. Darren Curtis and Tabletop for their audio, and ChatGPT and all the other AI tools that we use for the amazing art, including Webster as well. Lastly, please give us a follow and a like if you haven't done so already. It helps us grow our streams even more. All right. Well, last time I think Andy, you rolled a d6. Joey, why don't you roll a d6 this time for the inspiration for the group?
Sounds good. Let me get to the D6s here. Boop, boop, boop. Starting strong.
Whoa!
All right.
Yeah! Look at that.
Very good. Nice. Very good. You'll definitely need it today.
Watch this
As
case we
always,
don't use any of them. We're just that cool.
as always, thanks for the players for joining us and those who are at home watching or watching stream or live or just watching a rerun. Get yourself comfortable as we jump in to see what mysteries shall be revealed today. Now, wait, where's the stuff? Aha, music. Ready, done. Previously on the seal pages of Verglas, the caravan of Gaius gathered within the hollowed halls of Candlekeep, the air heavy with anticipation and dread. The mission ahead was clear: descend into Avernus, the first layer of hell, to rescue Nitalia, who had been seized by Tiamat. The journey would be treacherous, not only because in the infernal landscape, but because of the forces waiting to destroy them. Bruce and Aki, their hearts weighted down by grief and desperation, sought guidance from their patron deities. Bruce knelt quiet prayer to Selûr with Aki, while Aki reached out to his divine connection. But no answers came. The silence of the gods were deafening, and it left them both with a sense of uncertainty. Meanwhile, Ruin, ever since his rebirth through Bahamut's blessing, discovered an unexpected gift: the ability to perceive divine traces related to Bahamut. The new sense would prove invaluable as they prepared to traverse the plains. As the caravan made their preparations, Ziggy received a visit from the great reader Silvira Savikas, the scholar of planar knowledge and the Great Wheel. Her sight was crucial, and she offered the caravan two possible paths into the Hells. The safer route, which seemed to be the City of Brass, traveling into the Avernus to the City of Brass, which is the legendary city of the Afriti on the Plain of Fire. Severa had an informant there, a member of a traveling band who would guide them through the infernal layers. More stable and organized, but navigating the political intricacies of the Afriti could be just as perilous as the journey itself. The dangerous route, Dragonspear Castle, traveling through a rift in at the Dragonspear Castle, a known gateway to Avernus. Though quicker, the castle was overrun by goblins and hobgoblins, a maelstrom of chaos that could tear them apart before they even reached the rift. The caravan needed to weigh speed versus safety. While the rest of the caravan prepared, Harold ventured alone into the Cloakwood Forest, answering a summon from his old mentor, Dr. Grant. Harold expected to find a reassuring presence of his teacher, but instead he stumbled into a trap of the past. Sitting on a log in the clearing was Dr. Gret and two cloaked figures in crimson, Thayan colors. As one figure pulled back her hood, Harold's heart froze. It was Mel, his long-lost sister, and beside her another figure removed his hood. Dee, the other sibling of the triplet bond. The shock was overwhelming. For years Errol had hunted for his siblings, believing in them to be victims of the Thayan massacre. Now they stood before him, alive and changed, their allegiance bound to Thay. Mel, the more rational and conflicted sibling, seemed happy to see him, but her words were laced with uncertainty. Dee, cold and unapologetically devoted to Thay, made it clear that they were sent to retrieve Errol, bring him to Sastam, the ruler of Thay and Lich Lord of immense power. Dr. Gret, who had unknowingly led Errol into the ambush, looked on in shock and regret. Realizing he was surrounded, Errol knew he had one chance. He activated his realm walking ability using the magic Gret had taught him to escape the encroaching Thayan forces. He grabbed Dr. Gret and disappeared into the magical veil, leaving the Thayans grasping an empty air. Eld and Gret reappeared at a safe distance, heartbeat pounding as they made their way back to Candlekeep. Back at Candlekeep, the caravan of chaos gathered once more, sharing the new information and reassessing their plans. Eld, though shaken by the encounter, kept his focus on the mission. They debated the option presented by Silvira, the City of Brass versus the Dragonspear Castle. Despite the danger, they agreed that Dragonspear Castle would be the quickest route. Time was of the essence. Every moment lost could bring Nidalia closer to becoming Tiamat's vessel. Bruce, still dealing with the guilt of Nidalia's order, resolved to face whatever hell had to offer. The caravan steeled themselves, gathering magical items, potions, and rations, knowing that the first layer of hell would not welcome them lightly. As the caravan made their way to Waterdeep to gather final supplies, they could feel the weight of destiny pressing down on them. Their next step was to travel south to Dragonspear Castle, clear the path, and access the rift to Avernus. Yet, despite the looming threat, the caravan knew they had no choice. If they were to save Nidalia, they had to brave the hellish rift and confront whatever awaited them on the other side. Okay. Zoof! You guys teleport to Neverwinter and find yourself a teleportation. I can't remember where the teleportation circle you guys used in Neverwinter, but let's just say you used one there.
Yeah, it's sort of just outside the town centre, I guess.
All right. And so you find yourself there in a, I'd say, a late afternoon. Late afternoon. I don't know. Afternoon. Just hit afternoon, midday. Busy streets of Neverwinter, and people are bit gasp at you guys just popping up, but people move on like their day, not knowing where you guys are, where you guys are going to be heading next. So, the city is yours. What would you like to do?
Ruin's gonna say, I'll be back in about half an hour. I gotta do some things, and he walks off to sell his Rod of the Pack Keeper and his Ring of Telekinesis.
Okay. We'll we'll come back to him, and he can do all the stuff on his when he comes back, and I'll do that kind of out of game so that he knows and stuff like that. So I think it'll be easier that way for him as well.
Yeah, I think he said he wanted to potentially look for like an amulet of health to get his like con to a 19 and maybe some health potions, but I think we've already expended health potions out of game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll discuss it with him, and then we can
Yeah.
do that afterwards and stuff like that. So I don't think it's gonna be too
Right.
much.
And then Errol is going to be like, well, we are in the middle of a market. We could try stocking up before going to where we have to go next.
Yes, I mean, I particularly don't need anything, but you could use some supply. I mean, we could all use some supplies. Aki, despite gathering your equipment, you still look a bit empty. Maybe you should buy something to fill the void.
I do have one idea.
Go on.
That scares me, but if you need some help with it, I can help with the funds, I guess.
I likely will need help with it, but you're going to you're going to think it's stupid.
I
Alright,
expect
well,
that.
we can go get our stuff, and then we'll meet back here in, let's just say, like 30, 20 minutes or so. All good, everybody?
I might be slightly longer. If it helps at all, do you all remember the home address for Lady Esmeralda and Lord Toby?
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds familiar. Oh, Bruce, before you go, and then Errol will take the scarf. Yeah, I noticed you, I like to stay back anyway, so here you go. Just gonna put it on you.
Very, very kind of you. Thank you. This will help me a great deal.
Yeah, the more you close up you get, the further back I get to be, so there you go.
Solid strategy.
If you're going for a little look around town, Bruce, do you mind if I tag along?
Please come with me. I've a couple of things I want to pick up, but I need to go by the temple to Saloon, the big one. I'd like to speak to High Priestess Jasmine if she's there.
Cool.
And me and Ziggy will stick around if you're okay with having me, Ziggy. Unless
I think we should. I assume Ruben's gonna go buy something. I think we should make sure he doesn't kill himself.
that is true, because of what happened last time. So we
And-
should go do that.
We can probably do that as well.
Yeah.
Remember, my stepmother will be happy to toast you if you get there before we do.
Sure,
Alright,
I'm sure
sounds good.
it'll be fine.
Right.
You all split up a little bit. Aki and Bruce, you guys are going to the Saloon Temple first.
And I'll go with Aki to do any of the bits and bobs he wants to do as well.
Yeah, assume any of the shopping and stuff you've already kind of done, so we don't
Yeah.
have to roleplay that out. So
Sure.
we'll just go
Yeah.
into the kind of the chunk of stuff. So,
Sure.
all right, as you head toward the temple itself,
On the way there, Bruce will talk to Aki. He'll say to him, I never did get the chance to ask. You said Gray was there at that fortress temple.
He was.
I was wondering if you'd be willing to talk about it.
Yeah. I actually did want to talk to you about that. This mission. I almost can't believe that we're going to attempt. We need to be clear on sticking together, and we need to be, I guess, more cohesive than we managed to be, I think. But our mission is Nadalia at all costs, and I heard what you said, that she's the mission and you will throw yourself in harm's way to make sure she makes it to safety. I hope you know I would do the same, even if I am just a weird carnival uncle in this metaphor.
I know you would, and that's why I would never ask.
I don't think I can lose another brother, Chris. I don't think I would make it through that. So
You would
if you
know even
don't-
without
if you don't-
even without a check.
Yeah.
Bruce does look actually quite pained at that thought.
So if you don't mind, I will walk that path with you if you find it to be our only choice. This path is in hell after all, and if it's fire, we will walk on. I'm probably more comfortable than you are.
Depends how angry I am.
These days,
I suppose
that goes for me too.
that's an excellent point. I
But,
suppose then. Suppose then if I suppose if it's two of us, it doubles the time we buy everyone else.
Yeah, it is strange to say that we are founding members of anything. We aren't exactly joiners, but we are the original members of this caravan, and we are maybe the ones who remember her best and how she came to us. I remember your feelings towards Grey and what you would wish to inflict on him. Where we're going, I guess we may run into him. Seems possible.
Aye.
But he needs to come second
Right. If
to
you
Natalia.
I agree, and so long as there's a chance that we can rescue her, 100%. He is my secondary concern.
I would like to make this simpler if I can. Simpler for you. He was there. He visited me. When I was in chains, if you can believe it, he spoke to me like he was a victim and that he was afraid.
Of course.
He came a lot for a while, and I tried to get through to him in much the same way I suppose I always did, but I don't think there's anything to get through to anymore. The mark on him from the Dragon Mother, I'm not convinced that he is the good man I saw in him anymore, because I don't think that could conjure up the person I met in the fortress. He watched as they beat me, as they performed rituals on me, as they tortured me, and as they cut the heart out of my chest. I'm finished trying to save somebody who has no interest in being saved. So, if we meet him down there, I would like to deal with him. I'd like to give him exactly what he seems to fear, which is a pointless, anonymous end that nobody remembers. I will get to him. I will hold him tight, and I will release him from the pathetic existence he occupies in the tornado of fire I can now muster, which is the last embrace he will have from me.
It would be poetic. I suppose this caravan will take care of its own, one way or another.
We will.
Nice, go. I was actually wanting to bring that up. What your thoughts were on the situation with Grey, but you've answered my question, and I'm glad to hear it. I would say you've more of a vested interest in ending that man, even in me now.
Everybody else there denied me and my existence. There were days when I didn't see anybody, I didn't hear anything. It was like I didn't exist to them, but he kept coming back, looking for something, but not really.
Justification?
Maybe. He doesn't fit anywhere, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's too afraid of everything. He's afraid of changing his mind, he's afraid of being dissolved,
He gave up everything and everywhere he fit for power.
He did. And they took this heart, or Heart or Androthedor, and he gave me this new power and this access to what he could do. I'm not entirely alone anymore. There is a part of me not so far beneath the surface that is a lot less forgiving than I used to be.
I think I have some experience with that myself. As I said, I'm not either of the two people that you once knew, and closer to one than the other. I suppose I'm closer to Bruce Lockwood, and if we were to take that analogy, there's something a lot angrier, less kind than there once was.
I don't think anybody could begrudge us having a thinner shell than most.
Agreed. And we can still direct it at those who deserve it. Despite all the hell we've been put through, we haven't lost ourselves.
That's why I wanted this mask. I want to, even if I look different, I want them to know this is me. When I meet them, and when I end them, I will look like me. They will know that it was their fault I can do this now. I would turn it on them.
It would be their fault, wouldn't it?
Yeah. The last thing they see would be Aki Trailblazer. Not some monster they can't name.
Trailblazer.
I feel maybe after this one, I should look a little more back to the road.
I suppose you would be. For what it's worth, though, at Lockwood Estate, whatever form it is, you and your old caravan will always have a way station. I suppose I don't think calling it a home is really appropriate for you all.
I know we appreciate that. It'll
It's
be good
been
to see your stepmother and brother again.
They might not be happy after receiving my letters, but it had to be done. It's been nothing short of life-changing sharing the road with you, Aki. I consider myself a bit of a wanderer, but nothing like you. I always had. I suppose I did always have a home to return to. Roots I could go back to.
Well, physically. But that's not all that counts.
No, I suppose not. Right. Wipes his eyes a little bit. There it is. That's the place. And he points to this grand cathedral-like edifice that doesn't... Cisco, am I right in saying that this great temple of the saloon doesn't initially have any means of getting up to it until you get to a certain point, and then stairs form from lighter ice or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, unless you are authorized or invited by saloon itself or their priestess, or you have an appointment. Normally you cannot access it to it unless there is like a mass or something like that. In that case it will be open. But
Right. Bruce will walk up to the point and go,
we have some art more if you want to show it as well. We have.
I don't think Ross has seen this, yeah.
I
Yeah,
haven't.
we have an ever winter map. If you change the screen, I'll find it for us. If it's okay.
Aki will be staring at this going, this is very different to what the Traveller is showing me.
I understand the Traveller's is less ostentatious.
We even have art of the locations there.
Is that Jasmine or Esmeralda in the middle there? That's Esmeralda, right?
That is, yes, that's Esmeralda there.
Yeah.
And then here you got Jasmine, here the priestess there.
Where is she? Yeah, there she is. That's Jasmine. And there's the picture right next to the Jasmine picture at the top of the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Aki's trying to stand a little taller and kind of brush the crumbs off of his coat as we get closer to that.
Oh, High Priestess Esmeralda is surprisingly informal. Well, as these people tend to go. So stand here and watch this. And Bruce will sort of hold out his ring, which is the symbol of Saloon on it.
You wanna take this, Cisco?
Sure.
This usually works. Hang on a second.
Yeah, as you kind of like illuminate, kind of point your holy symbol ring thing towards this structure, you see it almost a tiny glow coming from it, just in slow motion. You see this ethereal, smoky like staircase that appears made of pure white light, almost like an airplane in our world kind of stairs, like the really old airplanes, that are like quite tricky to climb. And you feel, Bruce, within you that you are expected once more.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how the tower looks like.
Apparently I'm expected. I just wasn't expecting that.
You're sure it's okay that I'm... This doesn't feel like my place.
Well, the way I look at it, the Moon Maiden shines a light on the paths travelled by others. These are winks.
Okay, you got me.
Follow me. You're with me anyway. Doesn't matter. Plus, if they send you away, I want nothing to do with this place.
After you.
And we head up the stairs.
All right. As you both start climbing, you notice mysteriously, as you done before, your steps illuminate almost like you're stepping on smoke, but there is like a light coming underneath your feet, and it's like a white light always. And as you look back for a second, you notice that Aki light is like a green emerald light on his footsteps, slightly different to yours. And you've never realized something like that happening with any of the people you've been with here before.
He looks and just
like...
He's a team green. He points at Aki's feet. I always knew it.
Aki would kind of shuffle to one side and kind of paint a little bit with his feet. This is cool.
Yeah, you feel like some kind of alliance, like almost like the Traveler and the Moon Maiden are somehow connected, and just this is a manifestation of that alliance somehow.
Maybe this is not entirely the wrong place for me then.
Probably not.
You make it all the way up to the tower, the door opens, and you see this huge portico made of white marble, kind of like a wood, and hard to determine what it's actually made of. And inside, you see a circular church with white pews also as well, a beautiful altar as you remember it being before, full of lilies and white flowers with jars and different representations of the Moon Maiden and scenes of different scenarios within her life and their historical things. And it's just this beautiful. On the ceiling there is this huge mural as well of different planets, constellation, gods, and like all kind of joining within Selûne's moon aura. And at the moment there is, far on the distance, at the end of the altar, you see that there is a Sister Mother Jasmine there, just kind of like doing her, preparing for the mass, like filling different wine kind of container, like cleaning the little pots where you place the holy bread or whatever traditional it is of it.
Well, that's Bruce will walk up to her. And I've forgotten what a greeting between Selûnite says. Hold on one second. Would he be informal with us? I mean, I don't think he would. He'd be kind of...
I thought from the top of my head it was something like "May the light shine upon you" or something like that, but I can't 100% remember it. I didn't make it.
That sounds right.
There's really not. I remember reading it as well. I used it once.
Yeah, we used it before.
Light be upon you or something, that's all I'll do. He walks up to Jasmine and it's probably not even, but if she doesn't turn around, he just sort of makes that sort of moon symbol with his hands, gives a sort of small bow and says, "Light be upon you, High Priestess Jasmine."
Oh, Brother Bruce, Oh, and you guess, hi. Difficult times, yet you manage to always come to see us. Nice to see you again. And who will you be?
This is my.
Hi. I'm Aki. Sorry about the green footprints. I hope that they go away. Yeah.
Oh, Aki of the Traveler. It's
Yeah.
alright. Those green footprints are always welcome here.
How did you know?
The Moon Maiden works in mysterious ways. What a good answer. That's for a cleric. That's what clerics all say.
Also the sword. Also the sword.
Yeah.
I can imagine Jasmine chuckling
Yeah,
about when
she
you
kind of looks towards the sword as she says that.
Just how that
People in the
sounds like-
background going, oh for fuck. Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
She kind of like you know, like seeing the type of elf that she is. She looks like both of you can make actually. I don't know. I don't think if you ever done this, but you can make. Yeah, I guess Arcana or here or Nature as well,
I'll
or
take Arcana,
History.
don't mind.
Any of those to figure out
History.
her elf
I'll do Nature.
lineage.
I don't think I ever did.
Oh no.
17.
Look at
Okay.
you go.
Lucky, I mean, Aki, you know that there is like some kind of like. You recognize the features, but you aren't sure which type of elf. And you, Bruce, realize that she's an Eledrin, that is a Feywild originating elf.
Ooh. So even from further afield.
Yeah, and that probably is why she's somehow connected as well and is aware of Traveler.
I suppose an Eldrin would be aware of the Traveller.
Please tell me you don't have any more horrible news this time round. Any updates?
Updates and none of them good. But progress. You know, let's call a spade a spade. I've failed again.
Aki will put his hand on your shoulder as you're telling this story.
Sorry.
What do you mean you fell? Please give me a bit more context.
We received an information from Force Grey about the location of my brother here at a far off continent, like Anchor Room, I believe. We got there, and it turned out to be a means of luring us out of Candlekeep, so that the cult could attack and capture the Great Reader, High Reader of the First Reader of Candlekeep. We devastated that temple. We killed 5 dragons there, and we freed Nadalia, who was a conductor for them. But no sooner had we freed her. The Dragon Mother herself intervened, reached out from a bloody portal, and dragged her to Avernus.
Kind of looks
Right out,
down.
right out from my hands.
You should have asked us for help, you know.
There wasn't
Yeah.
time. We had to move. If there'd been... There are a lot of things we'd done differently. If I'd moved faster, if we'd been quicker, if we'd been less foolish. We know where we're going now.
Did you try your best? Did you give all you could?
I had nothing left by the time I was done. I couldn't
What
out-wrestle a
about-
god. a god.
What about you, Aki? Did you give everything you could to save the chosen one? Jesus.
In so much as I'm still alive. I guess there was one more thing I could have given.
He gave his heart, High Priestess.
I mean,
Literally
if
and
you-
metaphorically.
If you gave everything you could, you have not failed. Just got closer to it. Sometimes fate, threads of fate move around us, leading us towards a point. You look at the little stars next to Saloon. They always move around it, following, guiding you. There is no failing. She's with you. Our goddess is with you, especially to help the chosen one. She gave you the tear, didn't she?
I know. High Priestess, you know how I feel about fate. You know I don't believe in such things. I believe we make our own fate. That's why... It's been twice now. I hadn't even had her for a week before she was stolen from me, and we barely got her back, and then the Dragon Mother herself saw fit to intervene.
Well, do know that for every intervention of these evil deities, there is always an intervention from our gods too. It's always about balance. Potentially, she is with you on whatever your next journey, if there is a next journey.
There will be. We have a target, a location. We're going to the Hells. We're going to Avernus. We're gathering allies right now, gathering supplies. Now we have a way through.
Bator and you. I'm not sure if how many potentially I could contact the Holy Order or the Alabaster Moon, and potentially they might be able to somehow help. When will you be leaving?
As soon as possible. We've heard of two potential ways through. There's a portal at Dragonspear Castle, and we were told that if we were to go to the City of Brass, it would take longer, but apparently it's safer. Personally, I'd rather take the shorter route, but all the hours we can gather for that castle infested with goblinoids could make it safer, could make it easier.
I'll do whatever I can. Get back to you. Where are you staying? Are you staying on the Bleach Leviathan, as usual?
No, I think we'll be hosted by Lady Esmeralda Lockwood.
Oh, she's one of. Isn't she the the widow of? Oh, okay. Of course. I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. Of course you are. I'm sorry for your loss. I can't remember if I already told you this, but
Just another thing I couldn't be there for. I wanted to come by and just tell you what had happened, and I do thank you for your kind words. It doesn't change how I feel, but it's good to know that I can still come here. I should let you know that I did have words with some of your clerics in far off Merrin, and perhaps
Merrin.
gone against. I believe I've gone against the church's wishes about the spreading of information. I just wanted to be clear. I'm not going to stop being honest with people. I feel so many people have been left defenseless because they don't know what threats they're facing. And I just want you to know that I believe wholeheartedly that the church is wrong to keep such information hidden?
She kind of looks down as you said this kind of thing. And you see some kind of like an awkward
Yeah,
reaction.
see, you sort of feeling this was from high up, and so he kind of nods and goes, "I had a feeling you were probably involved with the decision making, and I wanted to be honest with you."
No, I totally see where you're coming from. You haven't really taken your vows. You're not really perform any masses or things like that. You channel your strength, and that's what gives you power, right? Ultimately, that is your... He looks towards Aki. Well, and them and him, these are your strengths. You don't have to follow what the church says to be who you are. Not saying I agree with it, but we all have gone through different paths in our lives where might have lost faith on the church, or might have even lost faith on the maiden herself. But,
If it's worth anything, High Priestess, I believe the church itself is secondary. What's most important is its people. The people are what are most important. They're what make it special, not the other way around.
I do agree with you, but not everyone is ready for the world, and it's part of our responsibility to shield the weak from things that they might not fathom. You don't tell children when they are kids the truth about the world. But after
You
all,
do
we
though,
all
you
children.
educate them. You educate them. Teach them.
Yeah.
Give them the tools to make their own decisions, and people might surprise you.
I guess opinions are never wrong. They're
Respectfully.
always opinions.
Respectfully, High Priestess, I don't think it's an opinion. You have to teach people what they're facing. You're not talking about children, you're talking about adults, grown men and women.
I understand. She kind of like you see on her face like a change demeanor, and you can make an insight check. Both of you.
But
if you want.
yeah, thank you.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's pretty damn good.
You nailed her. You see, both of you, that there is a conflict from the thing that she should be doing and the thing that she should be saying as well. You know, so they both not always agree, and there is a conflict within her. And within her doubt, you see she turns around and opens this drawer underneath the altar and reach out for a pile of books on the church, as a cleric should do in these situations. She's like almost following the 101 cleric manual. If people come to you with this kind of issues, go and hand them the Bible. And she kind of like politely says,
I get it.
knowledge is all you need, potentially. If you read, you might change your mind. I don't expect you to, but this is what we are meant to be doing on this. What about you, Aki? Do you disagree with the church of Saloon?
I have been surprised by too many things that I wish I had known about. But this is not limited to monsters, this is regular people and how they behave toward one another. Towards outsiders, towards people they think are less. I don't know if somebody telling me as a child it would have helped, or if a child would have listened. But deciding what people should know for them makes me uncomfortable.
I see. It's what we've always done. That's why they entrusted us I know it's not everyone's opinion. Might not even be my personal opinion, neither, but I am given a chance. This is my temple. My personal opinions shouldn't interfere with my faith. I am a beacon to them.
Be a beacon.
But I might not have the choice to have an opinion like you two do.
You always have a choice. I turned to Aki. Sorry, Ross.
You do what you need to do from here. I will be on the road, trying to prevent these things getting to these people, whether they know about their existence or not. That's my place.
Fair. Yes, I feel a strong link between you two. It's nice to see.
Started in a prison cell, funnily enough. Oh, wait,
Many-
phrasing.
Prison cell? Okay, she kind of like, all right, I guess a lot of good stories start in a prison cell. She kind of awkwardly says,
Aki pulls out his arm, he's pointing to the tattoo, going, no.
oh, beautiful art.
Right, yeah, the tattoo was running like hell while you set the place on fire.
She kind of like, you see as she says, beautiful art, almost like the moon that she's got tattoo in there on her forehead kind of glows, as you can see some magical ink there, Aki, that you will recognize 100%.
Cool.
To be honest, tattooing him is more like you have to get a branding iron and then to get through those scales.
Oh, yes, I see. That might be this different type of, was it arcane? Beautiful. Very nice. I make a fate roll, Bruce.
Oh. Well, we're high up in the sky, so let's make it a high. It's over the moon is, right? God damn it! Why? Saloon, you bitch! Where were you on that one, jackass?
I have this thing I've been saving for quite a while. I think it will really help you. And she kind of reaches open, kind of like goes to the back of the altar, more like a special little wardrobe that she has inside, kind of opens it, and you see this beautiful potion with a swirling red flame inside it, and she kind of handles this ever so careful, and then poof, it drops on the floor, and you see how the smoke comes out of it as the potion breaks on the floor.
Were you supposed to do that?
That was my last fire-resistant potion. I was saving it. You failed the fate roll. That's why I'm sorry. That was really mean. That was really gonna get
that big healing potion that Mo had promised me, and Cisco swoops in and goes, nah!
This is it was a fire-resistant potion.
Poison? What?
Potion.
It was fine. If I get angry enough,
Aki, make a fate roll yourself, actually. Because you do have... let's start with that.
I'll go high as well, but I've probably used all my luck today. Oh! Okay.
Sure.
Make an Arcana check as well.
Yeah, 14.
You do have Mage Hand.
I do. I was just looking for something that would do this.
You think to yourself as you look at the potion and how it's on the floor, even though it's sizzled, there is a portion of it that could be recovered.
So
It's not
there's
fully
like
gone.
a half broken piece of glass with still something in it, kind of thing.
Yeah, there is like actually it didn't actually fist away fully. When it touched the floor, some of it did and had like a reaction to the actual marble stone and stuff. But you see there is like a portion of it that you could potentially recover. And
Okay.
this will be a potion that will last for much less than what it should do.
Yeah. Aki will use Mage Hand to try as deftly as he can pick up this piece of glass with something in it. Do you have another vial or container?
Oh yeah, of course. She kind of like gives you like one of those like holy little beautiful bottles that has some oil. It will be used for some kind of an ointment or some oils or holy oils, but it's at the moment empty, and it's got like a really nice little top, a beautiful shape.
I'm sorry,
You can use
there's nothing I can do about what's already gone, Bruce. But
I'm sorry for my stupidity. This is really bad. I should know better.
It all helps. You'll hand it to Bruce. I can do this.
If I'm angry
Fire.
enough, I'd be all right. But a vial of there was a potion, fire-resistant potion, isn't
Yeah.
it? So I'll take it. It doesn't last as long now because there's less of it.
Yeah. Just you can write half for sure of resistance.
I'll check how long it lasts for, then just make a wee note that it only lasts half as long.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
It's still
Ziggy
quite a
or
lot because I think it's an hour anyway.
30 minutes. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So Ziggy or Rune,
So
we get some
Mo,
new stuff.
just because Mo is running, how long will you think, Mo? Will it be half? Will it be a minute? Will it be like a small? Because it's not fair that Mo doesn't decide that.
What? No, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, are you happy with half, or you want a minute?
no. That's more than enough.
I was looking at shape water, but that literally will only do water, not liquid, right?
Oh.
Damn it!
I mean, just for flavor, I would be more than happy to, on this instance, to use it. I think it's a nice use of it. It doesn't really change anything.
If you'd let me kind of shape water as something that Aki's only learned to do in his captivity, as he was playing with kind of puddles and things that were lying around, he was kind of tracing his fingers in them. So he manages to kind of keep a bit more of coalesce a bit more of the liquid that before it ran away down any cracks or holes between cobblestones and floor stones. So if there's any more that you would allow me to collect.
Okay. Let's just say, just for flavor, you use it without using the spell. You just kind of focus on your magic, and this is such a small portion of it. And just because you are on the traveler connection with Saloon itself, unfortunately, you go where you were meant to.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But it looks beautiful, and she kind of like is mesmerized with your use of arcane magic and this beautiful green aura, and how she's just like really contemplating. Wow.
Taki's just going to be me. Like, people looking up to him for anything.
In terms of, I thought I will let you know, Bruce, on our investigations regarding. One second, because I had it here. Regarding this book and Remy Duskweather. We actually confirmed now that the book is under the possession of one of the leaders of the Wizards of Thay. They have some involvement. We aren't sure what the connection of this is, but it feels like they might have be helping the Whispered One.
We have heard something of that through a dear friend of ours. Something to deal with another time, I feel, though.
Yeah,
Thank you. I do thank you, though.
If something comes up, we are thinking potentially sending agents into Thay at some point in the next weeks. So if you want, I can keep you on the loop.
I know one person would want to be part of that team, and I know I've promised that he'd have my strength once we're done with this. So, yes.
All right. Sounds good. Good luck to the both of you. I have a mass to perform shortly. But yeah, as anytime you're welcome, please come to see us before you leave Neverwinter again, or assuming you're not staying here. And
Probably leaving tomorrow, honestly. Thank you for your time,
that's all right.
High Priestess Jasmine.
Always a pleasure to see you, brother. And a pleasure to meet you as well, brother Aki.
Bye bye.
Yeah. May the Moon Maiden shine upon you in your darkest hours.
Yes.
I nudge Aki like this.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's good.
we kind of
Well done.
established there was something like a weird thing
Well,
that they
yeah.
were doing. I can't remember how it was, but it was like a thing.
With the traveler thing he does, it changes every time now.
Yeah. And as you both kind of make your way out of this chapel, the stairs kind of almost seem a bit sharper this time going down, like they have been reformed, and it's like a little bit as you try to go slow through them, it just almost feels like whoa, this is hard to do because you kind of like have to go a bit faster, and then you realize that you realize at the end of the stairs there seems to be a queue kind of people forming that they were gonna be assisting to this mass that will commence shortly. So they, as you end your steps, they start making their way up.
I cast Thaumaturgy on myself and I raise my hand in the air, make my symbol really obvious, and I go, "Ask questions of power! Always!" And I keep walking.
Praise be. There's a few people that say praise be, and they don't show who you are, but they see the symbol. It's like, oh my god, and they kind of like even bow. Some people genuflex and do the symbol.
Be not afraid. Ask questions of power. Always. And I keep moving.
See, a couple of people look at each other like, what does that even mean? Right. And you I'll give it back to you. I see the party split, so I'll give it back to Mo for him to kind of
Yeah,
keep
I
going.
think me and Aki are good.
Cool.
All right, let's jump to the other two. I know you're not doing much and just following
Yeah,
kind of Ruin around, but yes.
Yeah, I think Ruin specifically is going to try and look for an amulet of health and try and sell his rather than the Pact Keeper. I know we said we'd do that out of game, but I think that's what he wanted.
Okay, I was looking at the amulet of health. Oh, it's a rare item, and he said he wanted to get rid of what?
His Rod of the Pact Keeper and his Ring of Telekinesis.
Rod of the Pact Keeper. What was it?
The Rod is it's uncommon, and the ring is very rare.
Ring. I did say no more potions, but I'll say just get rid of the what's the very rare item he had?
The Ring of Telekinesis.
If you get rid of the Ring of Telekinesis, you can have one superior healing and the Rod of the not the rod, I mean
the amulet of health.
Yeah, so just that item you can get rid of, and then you can have a superior, which is the third strong one. All right. So, as you mark that off and you find yourself walking around asking about where the Lockwood family is in Neverwinter, and eventually you find yourself in a nice residential area in Neverwinter. As you continue in the distance, you do still see the towering temple of Saloon, where you know that Bruce and Aki have gone to, but you've kind of moved away from that, and you've gone towards kind of the Blue Lake district. There's a massive lake in the middle, and just close by there is a nice home. Not little, but it's a nice home where you immediately see a familiar little boy kind of playing outside, with some kind of stick in a ring, and he's kind of rolling it with a stick outside his home. He kind of sees you approaching, and he kind of looks at you too, first kind of confused, and then looks at you both again. Doesn't recognize Ruin, and then he looks at the two of you and goes, "Oh, hello!" And he comes running up to you.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Is my
What
brother
you got
with
there?
you? Oh, I was just playing with this stick and ring.
Oh.
It's kind of fun. Do you want to try?
Maybe later. Is your mother home? Your brother is still visiting a temple, so it shouldn't be too far. He is coming too.
Just a quick thing more. Let's say that this is their new kind of residence, because when you were not here, we put the house where she is, kind of thing, next to the graveyard. But she found it that it was a bit too somber to be living next to the graveyard. So eventually, she's kind of got a new property, a bit more something a bit. It was the first kind of like property she got every winter, but now she got the feel of it. You all will know. So yeah.
Okay. You see the door open, and there you see Esmeralda Lockwood standing there, still in her kind of, kind of like what's this kind of flared out dresses in kind of like a very kind of chalky blue colored dress. Frilled out, and she kind of looks towards the two of you, kind of looks behind the two of you, expecting to see Bruce, but doesn't see him, but she still smiles.
He'll be on his way. We were told to meet here.
Oh no. Hi. What brings you here?
I know that Bruce wanted to visit before we headed out.
Oh.
Mainly supplies for our next expedition, let's say. But
Right.
we're in the neighborhood, but also just general saying hi before such an expedition, as it's quite a big one.
Understandable. Well, why don't you come inside? We actually Alfred, and then you see Alfred Copperworth also step out. Yes, ma'am. And he kind of looks towards the rest of you. Ah, Master Ziggy, Master Harold, how are you?
Doing
pretty good,
doing fine.
Alfred.
Just to let you both know, if a sort of armored angelical person comes round with a sort of tendril-like whip, he's with us. He may say he's Ruin, he may not look like Ruin, but give him a second, he will act like Ruin, and you'll know it is Ruin.
Very well. Well, why don't you come inside? We are about to sit down for supper.
Oh, very lovely.
Sounds pretty good. Thank you very much.
As you step inside the home, you do see that there's still boxes and crates of things kind of set aside. It seems like there's a newly home acquired and they're settling in. Seems like Mr. Copperworth has come to help and assist the family here settle in. As you step inside, you see...
Do you need some help with this? We can, help in some way.
Well, maybe you... It's okay, man. I will manage this by myself. It is my duty for the Lockwood family as I continue to serve.
Well, I don't have my lyre anyway, so I can't summon a golem to help you.
Very well. There's no need for a golem in here. Just to... The wood here is polished and it would fracture it if there was a golem wandering around, but the thought is
Fair enough.
indeed considerate, Master Ziggy. Please come through. And he takes you, opening the door, and you enter into a room where supper is served. There is a very refined green soup with a on the side there is probably like a toast or bread with some sort of pate on it, and it has he kind of describes it of a mixture between liver and also marrow, which has been cooked for a while for it to be become very succulent and umami flavored. As you sit down, tea is also served at this time, because tea is served in this house all the time. And meanwhile, the rest of the party head towards the door, and Bruce and Aki, you find your way towards the Lockwood home here in the Blue Lake District. And eventually, when you find it,
Baby pony Marrow's bone soup. Just serve the soup as you hear the super introduced.
Oh my.
as you knock on the door, and the door opens, there you see, opening the door is your butler, Mr. Alfred Copperworth.
Bruce has a big
Boss.
beaming smile upon seeing him.
He's got this kind of straight, still face. There is no sign of excitement, but there is a sign of acknowledgement. Master Bruce.
Sort of coming halfway to sort of respecting his station, Bruce will take his hand in both hands and just shake it very firmly and excited to see him again rather than going for a hug because he knows Alfred would absolutely hate that.
As you shake his hand, you see it kind of firm up a little bit as he shakes you, just to kind of give you that notion he's happy to see you. But that's all. And then he kind of looks behind you. Master Aki.
Hello.
Kind of looks back to you, Bruce.
There's food.
Yes, there is.
I certainly smell
Come
like
through.
it.
The rest of your party has arrived. I was surprised to see Master Ruin in his new form. He seems to have a large variety of wardrobe changes.
You could certainly say that.
Please come inside. Lady Esmeralda, and what was the brother's name?
Toby.
Kobe.
Toby. And Master Toby are also inside.
Wonderful, wonderful. Alfred, I need to get some I need to get some word from you about how the fortifications are coming at the Lockwood estate. But that can be done another time.
Of course, Mr. Bruce. He opens the door. There, you see the rest of the party. You see Toby, excited, just gets up and kind of runs up and gives you a big hug straight away.
Yeah, he scoops him up like,
Just crushing me!
oh, you can handle it, you're strong boy.
And
then-
that was how I kicked Jamal Ollivander out of his own catering business for the day. Oh, Bruce, you're here. Just telling them about my last time fine dining.
We get it, Ziggy. For the third time, you own Marin. Can we be done with that?
No, you were there for this one.
Yes, I know. I lived it. Oh, hi, Bruce.
Welcome,
I
Bruce.
looked
How
at
are you?
Esmeralda and say, as you've probably found out, Ziggy is what we would probably call new money.
And then,
I want to add, there's no malice in that. He's just a jape.
Also,
Could be worse, Ziggy. You could be no money.
I
assume with you back, I'll be no money.
Sorry, I'd just like to inform you that Master Yagu wanted to eat outside as he was unable to enter the home.
Wait, he's not here? I thought he was still stuck in his room.
No, he's.
He must be having trouble with that axe. It makes him big, and he tries to get small again, and he's big again, I suppose.
He doesn't fit through doors anymore.
The magic is stabilizing. He's something. Would you say he's about 10 feet tall now? Like 10 feet wide, because he's a turtle.
We tried to crack his shell, but it didn't really work very well. Little Toby says.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
Something much bigger than anything you can carry, Toby.
Oh, I can bring you back some food. I need some. Actually,
Assume
do you have
Yagu
a
is with
cloth
you
I can
guys as
borrow?
well.
Yeah.
There's one.
Okay.
Ruin will specifically ask for a little cloth that he just puts around his arm. Yeah, I'll go bring you some food later.
All right.
Really good.
As you all eat your supper up, and kind of it starts to become evening outside. You see clear skies. You see the kind of semi-crescent of the moon there, the temple glowing in the distance from here, the reflection of it on the lake itself, and comes to a night where you guys are having you're just having, some, a little bit of drinks and stuff like that after your meal. Toby's kind of getting excited, but the time for his bedtime has arrived, so he's kind of shifted to bed. But
Can we go and see the zombies, Bruce? I haven't done it for so long. I miss living next to the cemetery.
I
The
don't.
mother looks like I just Esmeralda was like.
I can.
What?
I can
What
summon the zombies.
did I miss?
I can summon the zombies.
It's the same. It's so
Ziggy,
much fun in
I
the
mean,
park.
to be fair, it would be
This
more
one has
closer
a
to a
scythe.
cemetery if he did.
Aki opens his coat and pulls out the undead repellent just a little and goes, "Hmm?
Fine,
Right.
fine, Andy.
There'll
Fine,
be-
Aki.
Well,
There'll be no zombies. If there's one thing, Toby, that I feel the people in Neverwinter don't do is respecting death.
Okay, how about the Grim Reaper?
Oh,
That is as death as he can
that
get.
sounds super
actually.
fun. What is a Grim Reaper?
there will
I'll
be
tell you
no
later.
summoning anything in this home. Good night, Toby.
Oh,
Please, could you take him to bed?
The broths. Okay, just kind of like doing this kind of. Okay.
Stomp.
Good
stomp,
night.
Technically, you could technically summon berries.
Yeah, I love you, Mom.
Mo, I'm assuming the letters Bruce sent out will not have arrived yet. I'm assuming we got ahead of them.
Yeah. She doesn't
Right.
know.
Okay. Okay. I'll turn to Ziggy and say, Ziggy, have you had a chance to sort out any messages for the Elfbane?
I believe we sent some people on that.
Right.
We sent the people of Candlekeep who went to Yardu's Lake. I think are doing that.
Good. Thank you.
Or if they aren't, I'm retconning it now, and you all can't say shit. Except right now, you can say shit and tell me to shut up.
shit.
There you go.
Okay, well, Ross has said it. We're not getting any help.
Oh no!
No, but we can. Yeah, let's say it's been dealt with.
Quality. Lady Esmeralda, there'll be a letter arriving with you, sent by me, hopefully soon. It's to do with our next expedition. There's one for Toby as well. I want you both to read them. It's important you do.
She kind of, you saying that, and then she kind of goes, well, if you sent the letters, but then came to visit, why do you not just tell me?
Because would rather the information be seen when I'm not here.
Are you going somewhere dangerous?
He nods.
Do you have to?
He nods.
When will you be back?
I don't know.
You, from her face and your answers, she kind of understands what she's about to expect from the letter as well. But she
Yeah.
kind of stands firm, and then she goes, "I will make sure Toby gets his letter."
Thank you. Just in case. And here, what we're gonna do, there's a thing here. He will remove the bear claw necklace that he's worn all this time, made from the claws of steel. Just in case I don't come back. These belong to probably my first ever friend. She kept me safe and still does. Perhaps it can do the same for Toby, if I don't come back.
She puts a both hand, takes it.
Her name was Steel.
Steve. Yes. Your father mentioned about this.
Suppose he would have. Ancient history now.
I don't think so.
Feels like it. Lifetimes ago for me at this point.
I'm sure you had your peace with your father, but I wish we could have all spent more time together with you.
As would I. Would it be alright if we rested here tonight? We'd be leaving early tomorrow.
Very well. She kind of gets up, expecting the rest of you to kind of follow the courtesy of standing up, as she's a lady, and who nods her head. She says, "Wherever you are going, good luck. Please."
Thank you. We'll try with all our strength. Won't we, gentlemen?
Yes, we will.
That we will.
Oh, also, I just got word from Yardu from outside. Can I place a door outside? It may sound odd. Yardu wants to stay in the Magnificent Mansion for the night, but also he wants to know if there are any rolling pins going to spare.
Oh, bloody hell.
Rollings.
He has
I'll
made
ask-
good use of them.
I will ask Alfred if there's any around.
Anyway.
I'm a bit confused. But the door, I guess.
You won't notice it. I'll cast
Very
Magnificent Mansion for Yardu so he's not sleeping outside.
Okay, fair enough. All right. If there's nothing else, you guys can take a long rest now. Gather all your whatever spent you have.
Ruin's going to be attuned to the Amulet of Health and the new thing, which he told me about. Because Also, by the way, Mo, when I told him to not tell me at 2 in the morning or half 2 in the morning, do you know what he did?
Yeah, he's probably told me.
Yeah, he told me at half 2 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
So he's equipped to that and the Amulet of Health instead of the
Fair
Gauntlets of
enough.
Ogre Power.
Okay. I got you. Just move this here. Great.
Just for
Good morning,
reference,
Tom.
in case you guys haven't seen that episode, everyone is aware that on the graveyard in Neverwinter, there is some kind of curse, and zombies do awaken from the grave. Some people are kind of like ignore them, kind of thing, but it's quite dangerous. But people still go there and have picnics in the park and stuff like that. That is quite a normal thing. So every couple of days there is someone that died beaten by a zombie or things like that, but it's just, it's part of the city itself. It's kind of what makes it so special.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm just gonna use Deathless Explorer the minute I wake up to give myself temp HP.
I need to roll my portent.
I've taken up enough. I know I've taken up enough time with the sort of RP side of things. What information does Alfred have about the ongoing fortification building at Lockwood Estate, or is that still something to find out later?
I mean, you find him early in the morning before anyone else has woken up, and he has prepared a nice meal for the lot of you. And as you enter the room, he kind of stands there and you ask him a question, and he goes, "Well, Master Bruce, as you requested, we have fortified the estate, and used both magical as well as physical fortification to make sure it is secured. It is also going to be used as a safe haven if anything were to happen to Lady or Master Lockwood. Then we will take them there. I can assure you that it is. I have taken thorough and the most secure usage of protection to the place. This means I have placed traps around the local woods myself, which will be triggered if there are unwanted wanderers, as well as wards as well, with the help of some members of the Grey Force that have helped as well."
Thank you, Alfred. You're a good man.
Many say that, but it seems like all the good men seem to be leaving.
Bruce kind of turns his head away at that, and he says, "Yes, I suppose some are."
While you all sit down and eat, the time passes and he enters back into the door, and he says, "This is something perhaps your father would have wanted." And he opens a kind of semi kind of box in there, and he opens it, and in there are two vials. One, there is a supreme healing potion, which is what you want. And then next to it,
Holy shit.
equally in size, but the color in white, is a life potion. A
Ho, ho,
D12
ho,
life
ho.
potion.
Holy shit. I would take the big healing potion. The other one, though. I kind of feel like Ziggy should have that. This is above game. I feel like this is something Ziggy could do with.
I'd love it if nobody else would want it. We've already got a
Lucky's
D10
already.
as well.
I'm giving that one to Lucky. That was going to be my plan with the D10.
Yeah. If you guys are okay with that.
I think you
I'm
could do
okay
it.
with that. Yeah, it's Bruce's item. No.
It's because I've got a good chunk of health already, so I'd obviously benefit from it. I know you get your shit filled in more often than you should, so
He does.
A very punchable face. Which is
course
weird
it is.
considering the fact I can change it.
yes. In fact, you know what? Bruce will pick it up. He'll look at Ziggy and go, for someone who can change form at any time, you have the most punchable face, and he'll pass it to you.
As you give it to me, I turn it to yours. I was like, really? Do I? Well, thank you, Bruce. Down the hatch.
Roll the
Roll the
D12.
D20, my guy.
Fuck
D12.
yeah.
D12, I think.
So D12. That's still good. Yeah.
Yeah. Watch him roll a 1. Fuck it.
Ooh, very
Hey,
good.
look at that!
fuck
11!
Damn
Yes!
it. Don't reroll.
Oh,
11!
okay.
Very nice.
11 HP.
That'll put me in triple digits.
Yes! We're finally all in triple digits.
No, I'm
Power
already in
kill
there.
Kim.
I'm already in there. I'm now at
Hit a
119 hit points. So
Yes.
As you gather your things, now prepare yourself. You all step outside, and this is just as dawn. You can just see kind of the blue, deep blue hue coming in the distance in the night, turning the blackness into the blue. The stars are just at this point flickering away and disappearing. You find yourself the city slowly awakening. And if there is nothing else you guys want to do, we can move on to the journey towards
Dragon Spear.
Dragons. Now, question is, do you teleport there, or are you guys walking there?
So, out of
show
the
us a map.
game, I am in agreement with the short route, just to let everybody know
yeah,
personally. Where Errol
I think
ends.
we're quite a fucking ways away.
You are. You're
Yeah.
very far away. And it will
Whoa,
probably
we're
take
very
you-
zoomed in.
so-
Yeah, so is Dragonspear near Waterdeep, if I remember correctly?
It is. It's the
Is
place
it?
that you were
No,
saying
it's here.
last week.
It's here. It's closer to Baldur's Gate, or sort of like in between Waterdeep and.
It is right.
Oh, fuck
there.
you! I just realised
Yeah,
what you
but-
said. Fuck you.
This here, Trollbark Forest.
Yeah, it's like right above. It's like right to the east of Trollbark Forest, like
Oh
across the
my
sea.
god.
Yeah.
I think a teleportation because
But we're not in
time
Waterdeep.
is the essence.
No,
No, that's
no,
We're
but
in Neverwinter.
you.
We're in- Actually, where's Neverwinter on the map? Actually,
Like considerably
Far
further up
north
the
on the
coast.
coast.
Oh, we're further up. Oh, we are even further north.
Yeah, Neverwinter is.
We're 2 months
Yeah.
away.
Teleport.
You know, that's a solid time there.
You're just teleporting.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip the whole teleporting situation, but a little bit of time would probably go. You return back to Candlekeep, and then from there, you would head towards. You'll teleport towards a location close to Dragonspear Castle. Is that okay with you
I
guys?
mean, has we
Yeah.
been to anywhere that's anywhere near there that we could actually teleport to? Or are we
We've
going back
been-
to Candlekeep first?
We've been there.
Yeah, we've been to that actual like.
Well, you were
castle.
told you from Aki remembers in the script that he got from reading about Dragonspear Castle. Within that, there was a teleportation ruin for you to teleport there as well, if you had needed to, as well. This was as part of the side quest thing. And you can use
Yeah.
it in this instance as
Yeah.
well. So
Okay, so we could teleport straight to Dragonspear Castle, but it's going to be inside the structure, or it's going to just be on the grounds. Oh crap!
Can we make it maybe an intelligence check with with sort of like the what is it? The arcane eye ability. Not arcane
What's
eye,
that?
like the like scrying maybe, and like use the rune of the. I'm bullshitting here.
you could describe
Push
the
it harder.
location that you had been to. So you were just at the entrance of entering into the
Yeah.
castle.
There was
Before
yeah,
you-
there
I
was
don't think
the
we actually went inside. At least
we
in my
read
memory.
that this used to be this had a dragon's skeleton across the top of it that had a name that somehow flashed into Aki's mind once, right?
Indeed,
Yeah.
it was. It was.
Yeah, it was, and we know that this was once. It's called Dragonspear because there was a weapon that somebody wielded while they rode this particular dragon that was stationed out of this castle.
Indeed, the dragon that you speak of is Halatafale.
Halatafla, yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with just teleporting in there, but
Well, it really depends on if you want to go guns blazing, I suppose.
Let's be clear that this might be inside the building, which is specifically what we decided to not do.
Essentially.
So we don't actually know what we teleport into, which might well be the dining hall for 700 goblins at this point. Aki sure as shit wouldn't have figured this out with a +0 to his intelligence check.
Right. I think it could be a possibility. I mean, do you have any of your mission? Your any of the information? Because you said you had a map, right?
I pull out the book History of Dragonspear Castle.
Yeah. Could I speed read and determine if there's any mention of a teleportation location?
Nope.
What
It
the
just
fuck
has
did I
the
say?
it just has the kind of ruin input that you need to put in to go to the location. It doesn't specifically say where it's going to.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to go there. There's nothing really nearby that we've been to. I mean, Dagger Fort's even a while away. Vermilion's a while away.
Well, I mean, it'd take maybe a day's travel
From
From where?
from maybe Vermilion, I'm guessing.
so it's nearly a week,
Oh,
or half
I
that.
mean, I
I
know
guess
Bruce
with
cut that in half, but still, that's still quite a bit.
even longer from Baldur's Gate. I think
have we
maybe
not
we just
been
need to
anywhere
do this.
closer?
Well, maybe it's not a detailed enough map, but no, I don't think so. Even Scornuble's further away. Fort Morning Lord, it's all miles
Right.
away.
I think if we want to get there as soon as it's teleportation
Risk it for a biscuit.
and hope to be
I think
quiet.
that's the way. I think that's the way. If we're gonna do that, that might be the way to go.
All right. Any preparation?
Aki will enlist the help of anybody else who's ever teleported, since this is slightly different than Heavy Storm. He's
Okay.
to kind of map a location
Okay.
before.
I've done this before. I can help
I'll
you
do
work
a-
through this.
I'll do a prayer to Saloon for guidance, and if we can do this later, I want to use one of the sending scrolls, but we can do it afterwards if needs must.
Wait, were we meant to? Did we have an idea of storming this place with forces?
We know where they know we're going there. Maybe they'll head back to assault Avernus.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so Aki will pull out the Pathmaker, hold it up in front of him, and it will begin to glow. And he'll ask for some help tracing the runes up the blade side.
I have an astrorant here. Just focus on the runes.
Okay.
Very speeches that guide our footsteps.
Right. As you etch the runes, cutting it into. What did you say? The air or onto a wall? What are you doing?
So he's kind of just with his finger tracing it along the blade, since that's kind of what he casts it from.
And as you all as the Aki the spear, and you all touch his shoulder, and then the rest of you touch the other people's shoulder behind. Aki releases the spell, and the hole in front of the path in front of you kind of warps and changes, causing the kind of landscape to shift and move around, almost like you're swimming through the material plane. Everything is just kind of zooming past you, moving past trees, birds, things that you've seen, just coming straight past you before you see this kind of daunting tower castle coming towards you. There is this ominous kind of dark space and cloud looming just above it, and you find yourself reaching up towards the toppest part of the castle itself, before everything kind of comes back into reality, and you find yourself in what seems to be a throne room. As you look around, you see no other creatures, but what you noticed is that where there was a throne, it is scorched. It is burnt, like something had caused maybe some sort of a torrent of flame must have kind of singed the seat, as well as the wall behind it, as it's all black, completely in sunder. It's all black. You then notice that there is this kind of couple of stairways to your left and right. The whole castle itself seems to be kind of withering away. Rocks around you seems to be kind of broken. The when you look up, you immediately realize there is this kind of strange kind of bone protruding through the top of the tower, and then I kind of get the idea that that could be the dragon's kind of rib cage, or one of its ribs kind of just protruding at the top of its thing. You look around and there is this kind of deep hole just in front of the kind of throne itself, which seems to be like broken into or broken down. But you notice that there are like pittons that have been kind of put around it, as if someone had maybe previously been here. There's no rope, or whatever rope that was there. The hemp has kind of withered over time and kind of gone a bit frail, but there's no rope there. You can all make a perception check.
I have a picture if you want. I can show it from the
Yeah.
outside one. Yeah,
Nice.
Ooh,
Cool.
Rune
Ooh,
got a
that could've been
19.
bad. And let me get Yagu's up right now.
But Ziggy got a dirty 20.
Perception.
Boofed. Yo, Google.
Oh,
Nice,
Yagu
nice.
got a natural 20.
Oh, he sees everything.
Yeah, this is the first one. I accidentally clicked it twice, but yeah.
Well,
As you begin looking around to see it, you notice you hear like noises, clanging around, dripping of
They are coming.
what could be water or something like that. You see, you're unsure if anyone's really truly been here or around. But Yagu immediately begins to hear noises coming from down the hole as things begin to kind of. You're not sure if they're coming up. It sounds like footsteps. Does anyone speak a goblin here?
ooh, goblinoid.
hearing it, Aki will pull out the helm of comprehend languages, which I imagine has been missed somewhat.
Oh yeah,
Go-
yeah.
Does this fit anybody's head? Because I can't get it on.
I can make it fit mine. And I'll take my hat off, put the hat on Aki, and put the helm on it.
Okay. Does it require attunement? I don't think it does, right?
Fuck you.
No.
No? Okay. Just checking. Vicky, as you begin to focus on the voices, you hear a couple of voices.
It
First
doesn't
one say-
actually. I'm looking at it now.
Oh, nice.
You hear a couple of voices. One say, "I'm four. I'm sad, and I heard something from up there. It was like a washing sound. Well, why don't you go and investigate then? Oh, why should I go? Well, if you go and you find something that we can eat, you'll be a hero."
I tap my hand.
You're right.
I tap my hand on the bracelet of a telepathic bond between Saul and say, "We need to hide."
And
I also tap as
Harold,
well.
Harold is going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
All right.
Nice.
As you
Right,
all,
I could probably fly into the air so if they don't look up, they won't see me, and I can take like one person with me if they roll like shit.
We can get on the carpet as well.
Yeah, Harold's just going to pull out the carpet and just make sure everybody gets on it and then hovers somewhere.
all right.
I smell something funny.
Shut up and move on. Get up there. As you hear these two One of them is a goblin, one is a hobgoblin. As you kind of step into the room, everyone make a stealth check, and we will make
Remember to add 10 because
perception
of the
checks
cats.
as goblins and hobgoblins.
Ooh.
We just see what their
23.
stats
So
are.
Ruin rolled a 38.
So,
Oh, oh god, that was close.
Remember, you can
27.
add, if you haven't added
Yeah.
10, you can do
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, the way that dice moved.
yeah.
Okay, so a goblin's perception.
So Yagu has
is
23.
well, they'll use their well, that's British. Goblin perception 9, and hobgoblin.
Yeah, so
Happy
the lowest we
days.
got is a
Yeah,
the lowest
not
we got is
great.
23.
Yeah, 23 is the lowest.
23 is the lowest. Okay.
Okay,
So let's
so
both
then-
roll because
Sure.
but then add the
I'll
modifier.
do.
Goblin is -1 and hobgoblin
Okay.
is
It's
straight.
0, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so there's literally no way they can get a 23.
I mean,
They might
yeah.
add 20.
Aren't they?
They could.
Tell you what, as a bit of a laugh, because if they're just a standard stat block, could I have my sword ready so if one of them looks up and sees me, I just immediately rush them and just cut them in half?
Yes. You want to hold your action?
Just if they spot us, I'm in the air, kind of like.
You're in the air, waiting. The rest of you are hidden. Spot. Anyone hiding behind the throne?
No, I think we're all on the carpet.
I think we're all
Yeah.
just on the carpet.
Oh, you're all.
How is it?
Well,
How is it lit? How is it
well-
lit in here?
there's no light. The only light that you can potentially see coming through is this kind of a broken wall and the kind of the light from the dawn light that's coming through is just kind of shining into the room itself. So pretty dim light in here. However, as you all go into, what did Yagu get?
He
Yeah,
got
you
a
got
23.
23.
Okay. Now Yagu is big. There is the
Oh.
carpet fits like
Guys, he's
full
still big.
medium. He's
Yeah,
big
well,
because
fuck,
he's
okay.
attuned.
It fit all of us, but like Bruce
I
is
know.
on it.
The problem is that now Ruan is bigger as well. That he was a tiny thing before.
Then
okay,
okay, so Yagu will stay on the ground hiding while Errol is with the
Listen.
carpet with the others.
Oh.
That's the
Yaku pretends to be a statue.
Okay. I'll say Yaku
Sure.
hides behind
Okay.
the throne. It'll be funny. Okay. So, you see them kind of entering the room. Yeah. Kind of sniffing the
Oh
air.
my god.
Something's
Go
going
have a look
on.
over there.
All right, something's going on here, I'm telling you.
Akio use thaumaturgy to try and make the sound of ravens in another room kind of fluttering and squawking, as if that's the noise moving around.
All right. Make a.
It's not
make
picking up
another,
the Raven sounds.
Make another stealth check.
I think you still have the plus 10 because I think it continues
Yeah.
as long as I'm concentrating.
Oh
We're
my
telepathically,
god. 15, that's me fucking it up.
we're telepathically linked, so Bruce is basically making it aware. If any of them spots us, I'm cutting them down.
No, at the moment. You see the little kind of goblin kind of move towards the kind of the throne, kind of look around. Yagu's kind of there at the throne, kind of hiding himself. You could still see he's kind of big, but they haven't really noticed his kind of form, his shell. They think it's just part of the kind of the decor. And he's not moving. He's not moving at all. You see the kind of goblin kind of sits on the throne and goes, "What are you doing? Stop sitting on the throne!"
It's just so warm always, I don't know why.
Yeah! You see him, the hobgoblin, grab the goblin and kind of pull him off, and you see the goblin kind of stagger a little, kind of just where the hole is, and then the hobgoblin takes a seat and goes, "Ugh."
Wait! Look at this!
And one of them kind of holds. Make a fate roll, Herald, Joey.
If it's about I just want to go to the last sentence, which is just about tracks. That because of the spell, a creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
I know, right? The thing is that you are in the carpet. So
You know what? That's fine. You know what? I'll make the fate roll.
it's not gonna make a
You know
huge
what?
difference anyway because the rolls are the
Yeah,
rolls. One of
I'm
them
just
got
gonna
quite
call
a
it.
high roll, a
I'm
19.
just gonna
Flavor
call it.
rolls.
Yeah, so
I'm
we
just gonna
just
say
flavor.
it's a high because I
This
always
is-
roll high. So
This is us and
You're also-
boars now.
okay, so that worked
All
out.
right.
You're floating high in the
Ah.
air.
One of them kind of like from where you are, you see one of them holding something that is almost glowing like green on his hand.
Look,
Fine. Give
it's
it to
a
me.
weird looking. I think it's a dinosaur hair. Look at it, the color is green. It's not mine. We don't have any green goblin hair.
He kind of looks at it, the hobgoblin, and kind of sits down on the kind of throne, and then he goes, "It's mine now." And you see,
No, that's my dinosaur hair. Wait here.
"You know what I would do if I was king of this place."
Yeah, you've told me like a million times. It's really boring. Give me the fucking hair.
And you see one
You
of them
see
kind
him,
of
he pulls
jumps
out
on top
a
of it.
blade and then just stabs the goblin. Fuck! And then he pulls and there's just blood just spills out onto the ground, and then he goes, "Ah!" And he just pushes him into the hole as the goblin just goes down the hole. Going, "Ah!"
Oh. I send a telepathic message. I say, okay, gentlemen, I need to do this on principle. And I very gently float down behind the hobgoblin,
Bruce, what the
not,
fuck?
not making a sound.
Well,
And just go,
as you are doing that and making your way down, hold up, as you're making your way down, he hears the murder of crows in the distance, just in the distance in the room. And he's like, "What was that?" And there he sees a flash of magic in the corner from Aki. "Hey, what's that?" And you hear him scream very loud, and you hear him screaming in a goblin word, "We're under attack!" Very, very loud, which kind of echoes. And then this is the point where you're descending down, and then
I just go, I lean into his
Footsteps noise.
ears and I go, long live the king, and I Spartan kick him in the hole.
Well, thank you
And
for ruining the element of surprise.
It wasn't me, you fool, and I go back up into the air and zip it quiet.
As you go, seem just very quiet. You begin to hear clittering and clattering noises heading up, and voices, goblinoid voices, and it becomes almost like the whole building begins to kind of shudder and shake with the amount of creatures beginning to kind of crawl up, and we will.
Can I disguise myself as the hobgoblin?
Sure.
I was going to say,
I'll shape
Aki,
change.
Aki pulls out the scroll that he asked for, which is Scroll of Seeming. How does everyone want to look like a goblin? You can all do goblin, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
And he'll just
Probably.
he'll hold it and just smack the back of it and just try and push the spell out of it into the room just as quickly and violently as he can.
Just do it. Okay, as you do that, you realize, I think from the seeming spell, you cannot decrease your size only 1 inch, 1 foot smaller or 1 foot bigger, right?
Yagyu.
Why
Yagyu
didn't you
is
just
gonna
be a really big bugbear?
You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller and appear thin, fat, or in between. You can't change a body type.
Make him an ogre.
Look at the
Make him an ogre. And we're all hobgoblins and bugbears.
And you're gonna make him look like an ogre? Okay.
have to make it look like something.
Anyway, as you guys cast this spell and kind of disguise yourself, the camera pans down and goes through the hole, and as it goes down the hole, all the walls and all the sides and the steps that lead to the throne are with hundreds and hundreds of goblins and hobgoblins marching their way up towards the throne. And we will go on a break here and come back to see where this.
Okay. I'm looking forward to this. Say, haha! It's like, hello everyone, we're back.
Alright, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Alright.
Yo,
now,
yo.
You all begin to hear the sounds of hundreds of footsteps coming up to the throne room before the door gets smashed open. The wood splinters onto the ground. Stepping into the room are like a bunch of goblins, kind of like smelling and sniffing the air, looking around to see what's kind of going on. And then a bunch of hobgoblins stepping into the room. They have scimitars and blades that have rusted over time. Oh dear, what's going on? And you see the rest of you kind of... What are you all doing at this moment? Well, the four of you.
Aki's doing what you're seeing them doing. He's going, where did it go? I know he's here. Come out, show yourself.
Bruce is on the ground, right next to the hole, kind of looking like, waiting for Ziggy to talk.
Yeah, I think Ziggy just kind of gives off this like awfully long roar, just all of them, and just points, like trying to inform them to go fucking down without saying anything. And just points away, points you back to your station, basically. It's not really saying anything, but it's just intention. Also, Lucky rolled a 5. So I'm just gonna add that.
Oh,
Okay,
you rolled,
Yeah,
you
just
rolled
gonna add
the
that.
d10 for him? Okay.
No, he did it.
Oh, he did it. Okay.
Just
he
on
did? Okay,
the
alright.
scored.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. What about you, Errol?
I am gonna be also with doing the same thing as Aki, just looking confused and looking around while not saying anything.
What about Yagu? Oh, well, we'll come to Yagu in a second, but what about Ruin? What is he doing?
I think he's backing up Ziggy, like being an intimidating presence. Just trying to like get them moved back to their stations in a sort of like
I think that's what
non-verbal way.
Yagu's actually doing too, as an ogre, just flexing basically.
So basically, this conversation only Ruin Synergy. I mean, only Ziggy understands this, and the hobgoblin you point kind of to and grunt back. He kind of looks back and he turns around. What are you trying to say? Huh? What's going on here? He kind of looks. And who are you? And where did you come from? Huh? And you see him kind of move towards the ogre. Other goblins and hobgoblins begin entering into the room as well.
Can I, using my headband of intelligence and the fact that I'm using the helm, can I bullshit? Like pick up a word or two?
I mean, you can pick up. You don't. You understand what they mean. You could potentially repeat back, but I'll make you make a performance check in that instant.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try and do.
Okay. Well, before you do that, you see Yagu being kind of surrounded. And how did you get up here? Strange, isn't it, boys and girls?
Yeah, it's awfully strange.
There's a lot of meat on him too. You see him kind of licks his kind of tongue.
Yeah, so basically, Ziggy's gonna stop him and say, "I brought him in here. He's with me."
Make a performance.
He mine. He mine, I guess.
Can I? We look like hobgoblins. So. So.
So, are you feeling
Yes.
I mean,
make a performance check. Straight roll.
I'll tell you off the bat.
22.
22. Okay.
You see him a little confused with your kind of dialect of speaking.
I cough.
Because he kind of looks towards you like, yeah, not really sure what you really mean, but alright, he's yours. We had Guntor got killed, so his body splattered at the bottom of the castle. Was it you that did it?
Bruce will march up behind Ziggy at that point, looking like a bugbear at this point. So he's quite a bit bigger than Ziggy, sword slung over his shoulder, just kind of.
I'll try and like perform with what like lingo I've picked
Are
up.
you going through their own forces, or are you trying to walk, making sure that you don't get close to any of their goblins or hobgoblins that are there?
I think being he looks like a bugbear and is bigger than them, he just kind of shoves his way through to stand next to Ziggy.
So then make acrobatics to make sure you don't bump into any, because your form is only an illusion. So there is another you underneath them, underneath that.
Would that dispel the form? I don't know what seeming
No,
Won't
does.
dispel it.
It doesn't do, but it's just like
It's like
it's an
you'll-
illusion. Yeah.
You'll go through.
This is if you're wearing a hat, someone who puts their hand straight through where the hat should be. Kind of. This is a hologram.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge. Don't be too concerned. Just don't do it really bad.
I am. You say that. I am really concerned. I'm going to use an inspiration point. We've got
I would
6.
say,
I'm gonna use
Mo,
that.
what do you think that this is gonna be? Just make it interesting. So
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm
Seeming,
gonna roll.
seeming has a spell save DC.
yeah,
so
that'll be an.
investigate.
If you fail that, then they'll do an investigation check and try to ascertain.
I'm rolling with- I'm rolling
What
with-
does the scroll one?
I was
Yeah,
rolling
that's
with
what I'm looking for.
advantage. I've used the group
Uh,
inspiration for that
If
one.
it's a spell
Okay.
scroll, if it's a level 5
DC
spell
equals
scroll,
15.
yeah.
Just roll once and then let's see, because then you might want to save the inspiration. Yeah.
I've already used it. Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
really? Okay, sure.
Why is it not showing?
I know, right?
I rolled a
Is
14.
it on D&D Beyond?
Okay,
14?
so
Okay.
14.
What's the
wait, is
DC
that
for
with or
the?
without?
What's the DC
It's not-
save for
I-
the seeming?
I rolled it
It's,
publicly.
it says
Investigation.
the DC equals 15 on a failed check. The spell disappears from
Is
the
it
roll with no other
wisdom
effect.
wisdom
Spell
check or perception?
Investigation check to ascertain
for
illusion.
the spell, it's an investigation check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be spell save DC, except it's a scroll. So I suppose it is the scrolls, which is saving throw is DC 17.
DC 17 intelligence. I mean,
It's got
investigate-
it lists two different DCs under different criteria, and which is a bit annoying. When a spell is copied from a spell scroll copier, no, that's not that one. The DC equals 15. That's literally the entire sentence. So I suppose it's 15.
Okay.
Let's just roll with it because I think these guys are spoiling for a fight anyway, so it's probably going to happen. But who knows? Maybe a miracle will happen. Let's roll with it.
Okay, so
You rolled
14.
one and I'll roll one.
Okay, perfect. I'll do that.
This is just,
Actually, the table says a 17 for a 5th or 6th level spell. I'm looking at it now.
Ooh.
I've just searched up. I'll post it in the Discord.
But seeming.
Oh wait, no, that's.
Is this the new or old?
Oh, well, they're both the same, but a
Oh,
5th
amazing.
level and 6th level spell have a spell save DC of 17.
But on the thing yourself, Ross, it says 15 specifically. So
There,
then,
that's what it says on the spell scroll. Well, that's
So
the
then we'll
spell
roll.
description.
so then,
That's
then we'll roll
to
with it.
copy it into a spell book. It's 10 plus
Oh,
the
really?
spell
Okay,
level.
okay.
Yeah.
Mo, you decide, because this is Mo is in charge here.
Well, I have rolled, and this is what happens. As you begin, what did he say? You're gonna kind of wade through the kind of goblins.
He wades through and he's going to stand sort of at Ziggy's side. You like there's the bugbear bodyguard essentially. This way he's trying to with that really ugly-looking sword, gut wrencher across his shoulder, just like isn't daring anyone to cross him.
Yeah, you see the hobgoblin that's kind of taken charge, kind of steps up to you. You're still kind of maybe half a foot taller than he is in this kind of seeming form. And as he squares up to you, and you kind of look at him, you see him. He reaches out to grab your kind of scrubs on your shoulder, and as he does, his arms kind of go through, and then every other goblin and people go, "Oh, what sorcery is that? What's going
Foul
on?"
play! Foul play!
You see an
Oh well,
attack-
how about never come to this? Stab.
straight away. Do you just slice him in two?
Oh, I just go. Oh well, never mind. Cut him in half. Head to crotch.
What a waste of a scroll. Never mind.
Australian fucking character there.
Immediately in slow motion, he kind of slits open in half. All his guts and blood kind of. All the other orcs kind of, goblins and hobgoblins kind of step back for a moment, seeing that you did that. And then they all turn and scream and shout, "Rah!" And they just all start coming towards you. The rest of you kind of go into action, knowing that this is going to be some sort of chaos and battle ahead.
Let's go. I'm looking for that. I really hope they hadn't covered that. Who am I kidding? I'm quite looking forward to this.
The body kind of slumps to the ground as the hobgoblins and goblins begin to prepare to kind of come and attack you. Slowly, they kind of start moving in and just trying to rush in. The rest of the word begins to kind of scatter down towards the rest of them as they begin to start pushing up and trying to kind of come at you and attack you. So, just for the viewers outside, we're doing a kind of horde mechanic where they're going to go through round and round to reach a certain amount of damage. As they do, they will push through this horde of goblins and hobgoblins to reach their goal. There are 20 rounds, and let's see if the Caravan of Chaos can push through and get to where they need to go. Immediately, you begin to see them moving in, closing around you. Alright, who wants to go? You can go in any order to accumulate the damage. So, the DC for the first one, we'll just tell you because we saw that before, it's 10 damage. You just need to do 10 damage as you begin to kind of move through. It doesn't mean you're only going to kill one. You can describe how you starting to push through, and then narratively, we can kind of go through that. Sorry, Cisco, go ahead.
Should we do a base? Should we do a base initiative, and then we don't need to follow, but just to make it so people are not lost, even though
That's a good
you don't
idea.
need to.
We'll just keep
even.
their
Yeah,
initiative.
yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it
Once,
keeps
yeah,
it,
you could just say once we hit the number of hit points required, we can stop the round there, and then the next person is the first in the next
That's
round.
what I asked earlier. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, you want to do that? I think that might be a
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Everyone make sure we
that
get
sounds
shot.
good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me
Yeah,
just
sounds
delete
good.
Nidalia from this, and then you guys can just use the same.
What? No! What the hell?
All right, we should probably get our tokens out there, shouldn't we? Then we can actually
Yeah.
click on the initiative table.
I think I can get you a Yaru token, Joey, if you need it. There you go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then let me see if I can get mine. There's mine. Okay. And then
Get rid
I'll
of
roll
Flair.
mine.
The one
shit.
time I
Oh,
rolled
no,
good fucking initiative.
Fleur.
Fuck him. Who cares about him?
Well-
The one time I rolled good initiative.
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
cannot see the
Yeah,
initiative
yeah.
more. We might just do a new one because we see
What?
two, but they don't see any.
You don't see any?
What do you mean? We
Oh
can.
wait, you
They
guys
see
don't
the new one, but now they're gonna have each of them gonna have two. You know what I mean?
This song is literally called
okay.
Goblin.
Let me just
Yeah.
remove
Yeah.
all the test order. Okay, there you go. No,
Okay,
now
no
let's
problem.
just-
Yeah, you
Yes,
can
okay.
use the ones there. So thank you.
Yeah.
oh, but it's okay.
Okay, now there's two.
Okay,
I'll
delete
help
one- delete one
you.
of you. There you go.
There's
So there's
no.
Yagu.
What did you get, Ziggy?
There's no
I
Aki.
thought it
Arrow
was-
token.
I had a 21. And Ruin got a 9.
Ruin.
So for
Um,
old initiative, I had an 11 at that time. So let me just change
Actually,
mine.
I'm gonna put myself at 22 because I have a better initiative than.
And
Someone else-
Yagu.
we got give me a sec.
6. Okay.
Aki.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Aki on.
Yeah, I think Aki. And Runes is right there.
There he is.
You get
Aha!
Aki's token.
There you go.
Woohoo.
What did you get? What did Aki
I
get?
can't. I can't select the token, so I can't roll yet.
What?
Oh, do you not have permission to read the tokens?
It's your
You
token.
don't have. It's your token.
Let me just make sure.
There we go.
I did it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Figure it out.
Okay.
We got there. Ooh, 20.6.
Oh, nice. That's very Martins of you. Martin not doing that.
It was doing that. It was doing that last time.
Plus 3.16.
I know there's a setting where you could have it do that, where it will display the decimals of your dex or something, but I forgot how to do that.
Alright.
I'll figure it out.
Ziggy, you're up first.
Okay. Ziggy...
Whatever you describe how you are. If for example you're gonna just do I don't know. Let's just say you do a firebolt. Describe how that firebolt affects multiple of the goblins and hobgoblins, just for flavor, just to kind of make it more theoretical.
Well,
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go for a chill touch. That sort of I just throw out the spell and it has 120 foot range. So I think just I shoot out a hand. That sort of it just sort of shoots out and then comes back in. Sort of I just throw something that's very elastic and like a yo-yo. Yeah, I just kind of throw a deathly yo-yo hand out, and it just sort of impales a load of creatures before getting to the final creature.
All right.
Do you want me to roll that?
I mean, let me just see their AC. What's your?
You wanna use the
We'll use the lower AC.
the goblin was there? Okay.
The
Cool.
goblin.
Okay, so 18 points of damage for
That hits.
11 necrotic,
All right.
and I basically just punch them all in the chest in a straight line.
Excellento. All right. Let me just also. Do we have a token counter for anything?
I'm counting it on paper. You just need to remind me off stream what was the thing, because I remember what we spoke, but I can't remember what just the numbers, so I can keep track of it if you want.
Okay, so that's round 1.
And you can
Is that what
focus
you
on
want?
narrative.
All right. You know what? I'll
Yeah.
just use that here as my number count. All right. Number count 1, round 1.
I can put a different token down.
No, it's fine. As you release the chill touch wave, you just see the wave of them towards the stairs just drop onto the ground, they just kind of get almost frozen, and then they just wither and drop into the ground, giving you a space to kind of move forward. You all immediately, you see Yagu taking the lead, pushing all these hobgoblins and goblins out of the way as they try to strike him, hitting the shell, and him dragging the great axe behind him. As you do, you look down the stairs and you see them all just completely blocking your way. This is the second round. Aki, you're up.
Yeah, round 2 now.
Aki's hand catches fire and it kind of travels a lot down into the blade as the edges of it begin to show green flames, and he casts green flame blade along the pathmaker and takes a wide arc swing and tries to just kind of smack as many as possible along the way.
Nice. Roll to hit.
Ooh, 16 to hit.
That hits.
That is this many piercing, 13 piercing, and all the extra fire stuff that happens as well.
All right. That is
8 on the primary, 10 distributed.
all right. These green blades come out of your weapon as the shards begin to kind of separate and scatter and hit the goblins and hobgoblins down the stairs. You see them kind of pushed and tumble off as they continue to kind of come up. But as you kind of run down, wading through all of them, you get to an area which leads to kind of multiple stairways. At this point, you kind of look around and you see more coming from the rooms from the sides. That's your turn. That is round 2 complete.
Yeah.
To round 3. Bruce, you're up.
Round 3 now.
I would like to rage.
You see the spirit
Yep,
of steel behind you.
Yep, I get enveloped by her that spirit again, and I will roar and I will swing recklessly with Gut Wrencher.
You see Bruce jumping into action. Your blades start throwing, you parry some of them. The Gut Ranger kind of digs into their torso, ripping, shredding them. 28 definitely hits.
Yep. As he runs, he runs to the front, and he hacks two of them down. He grabs one, smashes his head against the wall. Another one comes towards him. He kicks him down the stairs, and he falls down the gap it made. And he's like, "Come on!"
You move through it forward. Do the damage.
I think I did. Oh no, I didn't. I did not. That is very foolish of
I'll
me.
send you a little message more. Sorry for that. I know it. I just can't remember something. Some no, yeah.
15 damage.
Yep, 15 damage.
And I will swing again.
Okay.
Something wrong?
No,
it's
just
just,
asking. Okay, 15 points of damage?
yeah.
Okay. Alright, as you kind of move through, the rest of you kind of follow and lead into another kind of chamber. In here, it seems to be some sort of kind of an old kind of mess hall or something like that where they used to dine, and tumbling through, flicking the kind of broken tables around and stuff like that. A bunch of goblins kind of swinging off the kind of the chandelier, heading kind of towards you. You can have your second attack now, Bruce.
I just did. I rolled a 14. It was shit.
A 14! A 14 is not enough, unfortunately. These goblins begin to kind of come closer to you, but then Errol takes up into action. What is it like you want to do?
So very first thing Errol's gonna do is like, okay, here goes. And bonus action, I'm gonna use not Umbra Veil, I always forget the name, Nature's Veil. And I'm gonna turn invisible as bonus action. And Errol's gonna take his bow, and I'm gonna shoot using sharpshooter with advantage. So let's see if I could. Oh, it didn't do the advantage, so I'm gonna have to re-roll that again. And because of my elven accuracy, I'm gonna re-roll again because on advantage I can re-roll my attacks. So,
Wow. Okay.
son of a bitch. Hold on, wait. Subtract 5 from that because that's supposed to have sharpshooter on, but it's off. So 21
still
minus
hits.
5.
Yep.
That's 16. Yes. So 10, 2. So that's 22 damage because that was supposed to have sharpshooter, but I panicked.
You see the kind of goblins kind of begin surrounding you, try to dig their kind of daggers into Bruce. You see, as you kind of struggle and kind of push them away, you just see multiple arrows just sink into them, and then they just kind of limp and fall onto the ground. You look behind you, and you see Errol kind of holding his bow.
I get a thumbs. You give them a thumbs up.
And
I
you
mean,
move.
yeah, I'm just.
You move forward.
I know he saw it. I don't care if he's invisible. I know he knows.
As you continue running forward and you get out of this room, you look behind you, and Ruin begins to see these kind of a kind of volume of hobgoblins and goblins giving chase. It's Ruin Synergy's turn. This is the fourth round now.
Yeah, you see,
Fourth round, yeah.
Ruin grabs the whip he got from the pirate. He's just called it Ruin's whip. I'm gonna call it Sutter's. So he's gonna start whipping it on the ground, just snapping it, breaking the sound barrier a bit, and then he flings it around to try and sort of like hit multiple people. Because it has like weird suction cups and muscles and all that, I assume it attaches to as many as possible, and then he just rips the handles slightly tighter, and a sort of purplish psychic light attacks all the creatures as he tries to do the psychic damage.
Got you.
And if it kills
That's
things,
amazing.
he kind of like pulls their brains out of their bodies.
Oh god. Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I just like all these goblins like shouting as the
21
whip
to hit.
keeps hitting them. That hits.
I don't know why.
21
Oh,
hits.
yeah, he has a permanent smite on, doesn't he? So 17 points of damage.
Perma-smite.
Yeah,
17 points of damage for the first attack.
yeah,
is
that's
fine.
radiant, that's psychic.
You see
You
some
wanna
of
do
them
another?
go down, but the rest of them continue on. Yeah, come in.
And he just kind of does the exact same thing, but from like a top heavy motion, like throwing his arm down. Okay, that's a dirty 20.
That 20 does hit.
But it does a lot more damage, so 22 points of damage, so
22 points of damage.
39 altogether.
39 altogether. You see, as he pulls them back, some of them have kind of fallen to the ground, but the horde continues to give chase. It is still not enough. And if that's Ruin's turn, Yagu.
So Yagu, first thing he's gonna do is that he is going to regular rage, because I like the idea of doing that better. Of Yagu he's getting mean, he's getting angry, and for some reason it's not letting me change the charge. Oh, it's going to claim his character, but I'll go and do that in a bit. And I'm just gonna roll recklessly and just attack recklessly with the Great Axe.
3d12s. Both for some big numbers. Oh,
Uh,
2d12.
22 hits.
I'm assuming it's going the full thing. Yep. So that's 17 plus 13, I think.
If the
Because
target is human.
oh, wait, it just human. Hold on, because
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
get
an
extra
extra
d12.
2d12. Okay.
No, so the weapon does 3d12 slashing damage, but it does an extra 2d12 if it's human. So if
That's
it
the way around.
hurt a human, it would do 5d12.
Well, I mean, okay. So wait, now the 12 and the 1. That's what it should be. The 2d12 is extra if it's human because wait,
No,
because
no.
it was 1d12.
No, so it's a
Right
d12
now.
weapon because that's a great axe.
Yeah, 1d12 plus so
It
17.
says it is sized for a frost giant, weighs 325 pounds, deals 3d12 slashing damage on hits, plus an extra 2d12 slashing damage if the target is human.
So wait, okay. So do I just roll an additional 3d12? That's the part I'm confused about.
I think
Two-
we're
two
fine if
d12.
we just take these numbers.
Yeah,
Because
they're goblins.
Yeah,
They're goblinoids,
yeah.
not humans. There should be 2d12 for 3d12 for every swing you do. None of them are human.
so
You don't get any
17
extra
plus-
d12.
Yeah, so just the 17 and 12, add them together, that's your 3d12 anyway, so that's right, yeah? Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
if we were fighting humans, you'd have to roll another 2d12.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where
so I think that's-
I don't know
I
where
think
the
that's
extra
how we'll do
radiant
it.
damage is coming from, but sure.
I
Could
think that's
be
the
from-
rage, right? Wait, that's not the rage.
That's not the rage. I don't know
Rage
what
would just be a flat, small number.
no,
Oh,
bonus.
he's level 11 paladin now, so he has his permanent rage on as well.
Oh yeah,
permanent
the
smite.
improved smite thing.
Oh, the
Yeah.
divine smite. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he has
Anyway, that's more
Yeah.
than enough.
Improved divine smite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Improved divine smite.
Yes,
Cool.
that is more than enough. As you, with one swing of the great axe, instead of it kind of crushing and killing the creatures, it breaks the ground behind him. The rocks kind of collapse behind him, and the horde that was chasing you from behind stops chasing you as you move through down these kind of steps. And you realize what these steps are now. These are the steps that you were going to go up, and you see the kind of exit that you could potentially take. But from there are still dozens and dozens of goblins and hobgoblins heading kind of towards you as well. This is now the 5th round, and in the 5th round, I'm just a bit curious, should we continue with Yagu's second attack in that instance, or do we just I think it's fine.
Why
Yeah,
wouldn't? Why wouldn't we?
yeah, no, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Okay, Yagu, you can take your second attack.
And then Yagu will attack again. Same parameters. And I'm trying to remember. Did I roll with advantage? Because. Oh, yeah, recklessly. Yep, he's still attacking reckless. That's what it was for. Dirty 20
Dirty
with
20
a
hits.
21. Yep, 21 damage.
21 points of damage.
Yep.
As he hits the ground, there is this kind of wave of kind of energy, almost resembling the kind of the wave of water that hits the kind of hobgoblins, pushing them back, not getting a killing blow, but causing you guys to be able to kind of move a little bit forward. But you see some of them kind of jumping around and kind of coming from above, swinging and starting to want to attack you. All right, Ziggy, you're up.
So wouldn't they take damage now, Mo?
No,
Because there
I
was
think
a couple of times that they didn't get the DC, right? So then I don't know.
I think if they don't meet if they go the whole round, so I'm keeping an eye out who's starting the round. If they go
Cool.
the whole round in that
Okay,
space,
awesome.
then they
Yeah,
will receive damage.
cool.
But
Whatever.
it's getting harder as you go around anyway. So
Yeah.
but-
Just send me the increase if you don't mind. Sorry, that is so confusing. I just can't remember what exactly. Thank you, man.
Alright, so Ziggy's turn, and we're on the 6th or
Yeah.
5th round, one of the two.
Ziggy, what would you like to do?
Ziggy's gonna shout to them all. In terms of Feywild creatures, you had the cancerous mole on the anus of the Feywild, and vicious mockery them on.
Wow. As if you other scream from the.
You're already dead.
What's the DC?
20. Wisdom
20.
save.
Wisdom.
Traitor!
Oh, they didn't make it.
9 points of psychic damage, and disadvantage on their next attack.
9 points of psychic damage.
Not much, but I wanted to say that.
30
You see
30
blood.
altogether so far, right? Okay.
Blood coming out of the eyes and ears.
Yeah, 30.
Right.
All right. Anything else?
Anyway, want a bardic?
Me? But just because I rolled like shit on my last attack. I'll give it to someone who only gets one go at it.
I would take it. I've only got the one swing.
Okay, then I'll say, Aki, hit him hard, hit him fast. And there you go, there's a
Nice.
bardic.
All right.
It's
Thank you, Flamicus.
D10.
You're up.
Which I can add to my to hits.
Yes, you can. You can add it to any D20 roll.
Anything that's shiny.
Cool. So,
Oh, actually, you can also add it to spell damage.
Yeah, I figured that much.
Oh yeah, because Tasha's...
Yeah.
Is that make sense now, Cisco? Yeah.
yeah, thank you. I thought that's what I was, but I wasn't 100%. Cool. Awesome.
Go ahead. What are we doing? Actually, Flamicus.
Aki's gonna do the same thing in a nice narrow space. We'll keep swinging with the ablaze pathmaker, trying to send arcs of fire out into this bunch of fuckers.
Okay.
26 to hit,
All right.
and plus the fire.
Wow.
15 and wow, that was really good.
Scream, burning goblin flesh with green flames.
So
think-
45
I mean, you
from a
could,
cantrip.
you could make that an extra D10 if you wanted.
I could speak as a goblin forever.
I can hold on to it. I'm gonna need it.
No,
now.
you're fine.
You see them crumbling onto the ground, ablazed and destroyed. You move down the steps and you look around. There are so many doorways to go. And it is at this point, Errol, you kind of pull out your wristband to kind of focus on where could this rift be. And as you kind of focus down, you know that you need to go deeper into the ground. You look around, you see some sort of doorway that leads to potentially some steps to going down. And as you kind of move towards it, you see a couple of strong, burly hobgoblins kind of step out to kind of block your way. And Bruce taking the initiative. It's your turn.
Alright, I'll see the two big
Round 6.
hobgoblins. Rex attack.
Round 6?
Gut wrencher.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
I'm assuming that will hit.
That
Cool.
hits.
Awesome.
Ooh, that's a good chunky bit of damage. 21.
21. kind of stumbles back and kind of pushes forward against you. Second strike.
Alright, here we go. 26.
That hits.
With 17 damage.
Altogether 39 so far. Okay.
That is correct.
Anything else?
No, I don't want to use up all my resources just yet. So I slash at the two of them.
39 points of damage so far. Errol, you're on.
Yep. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take out my bow. I'm not gonna use my invisibility, and I'm just gonna make some normal arrow shots with sharpshooter on. So just give me. Actually, I'll use planar warrior. I'll use my bonus. I'll get it posted right now, but my bonus action that comes with being a planar warrior. There it is.
Awesome.
Let me just get that. So that'll be right there. And let's see, sharpshooter, planar warrior. Here comes the first shot. Made a normal roll with sharpshooter on. That is not a great one. That is a 19 to hit.
That definitely hits.
So that'll be, let's see. Yep. That's a 31 damage for the first shot.
There is a moment where both the kind of hobgoblins are on Bruce at the point, and you manage to kind of shift yourself very quickly and pull the arrow, and as you release it, sinks the arrow both through both the hobgoblin's head, as they both kind of get hit onto the side of the wall and collapse onto the ground, and you manage to push through. You leading the way, continue kind of running down. That is round 6 complete. On to round 7. As you kind of go down, continue going down the stairs. The stairs now become really dark. So if you don't have dark vision, you have disadvantage. Moving forward, as you kind of go running down, you begin to see like. You don't hear anything for a while, and then when you get to a point where it opens up and you have to stop for a little while, and as you stop, you kind of turn around and you begin to hear voices coming from behind, because as you look down, there is this sheer drop, because you don't expect it to be there. You look to the right and you see that there is a long rope bridge, like you're not sure if it's been created by whoever was here before or the goblins itself. It looks kind of creaky and old, but you turn around and you see that a bunch of goblins are coming down the stairs. It is still your second attack, so
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Temple of Doom.
I'm gonna-
Think of Temple of Doom.
Oh, I like that. Was a good movie.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make this next one with a with sharpshooter on. A normal roll. I don't know what I landed on. That's a 23 to hit,
23 hits.
and that's for 24 damage. Because of my distance strike, I'm hitting different targets every time. Could I argue for a third attack? Because that's part of it, where if I'm hitting a different target from the other two, I get a third one.
Is it you have to be rolling with advantage for those, or is it just?
No, but let me just make sure. It's called distance strike. Let me see if I can get that.
I've read it enough times when playing Herald. You just need to attack 2 different creatures, or at least attempt to attack 2 different creatures, and then you can attack a third.
Yeah.
Okay,
And he's
go
just
ahead.
basically teleporting out of resistance.
Yeah, I think this is fine.
Yep.
Go ahead, roll the third time.
So third one,
So,
sharpshooter
yeah.
again.
Let's see.
Get that on. Normal roll. That's gonna miss. That's a 13. That's fine.
As the arrow misses, you still see the goblins coming up. But back of the line is Ruin with his sticky whip. It is your turn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Really?
I think turning around, trying to
TC whip.
ignore what the fuck you just said. Rune thinks, okay, time for the full, time for everything, and he sort of flings his other arm that's sort of just had like a whole like thing covering over it, and you'll see a golden wrap just wrapped around his arm that starts to like weave out around from his arm and pulls out a secondary whip. This is in bright golden light and is known as the Exalted Maw. And he starts like flinging them about like around each other, and he's just going to attack with both of them. So he gets 2 attacks just because he's a level 5 paladin, but because he has the dual wielder feat, his bonus action can also be an attack.
Nice. Go for it.
So yeah, so 2 attacks with a regular whip. That's a nat 20.
Ho
Wow,
This
nice.
specifically does something else on a nat 20 as well. The creatures are stunned.
Okay.
Yeah. It's that situation that with the first whip, you see like a big goblin kind of gets in your way, and then you hit him right in the head, and it goes through him as with this natural 20, and
Yeah.
you see like a few of them stand around. Keep going.
I think as he grabs one that's stunned as well, there's like a split second where everything freezes. Ruin just smirks slightly, and then a golden glow appears off the tentacle whip as I'm going to smite as well to add some crit damage to that.
Wait, hold up.
It's only going to be a first level smite.
I'm just calculating. Hold up. 48,
Yeah.
58, 58, 62. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so I need to be reminded because it's been a fucking while. Smites are 2d8, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
28 per level.
Yeah, so that is
Yeah,
48 because of the
extra.
crits.
Yeah, that's right. Jellyfish tentacles, whoosh, electrifying
That's
radiant damage.
shit. Actually shit. 13 points of
Whoa.
extra damage.
no.
13
And
points.
he's got 2. Yep, and he's got 2 more attacks.
Well,
So,
you might want to hold off on that because as this
Yeah.
hits on, you see the goblins kind of get shredded, and you know that there are no more goblins behind you. But you must push on ahead. So as Ruin synergy, the Ruin kind of pushes forward onto this kind of creaking bridge, moving rope bridge, which is kind of dipping very, very low and very, very long. You begin crossing it, and you begin to hear from the other side a bunch of kind of goblins coming from the approaching side. This is round 8 now. So go ahead, carry on.
Yeah, so I think. Sorry, my face is bleeding.
That's fine.
It's just I was picking at a spot earlier. It's my own fault. So I think
The claws of the goblins scratching
yeah,
everywhere.
the extended maw has a 15-foot reach. Is that like enough feet to be on either one side of the bridge or in sort of like the middle of the bridge and still attack people?
Yeah, let's just say by the time they get
Yeah.
to about 15-foot reach, you can.
Yeah,
just
so I
chip
think
away.
he sort of flings both whips at like any creature on that side of the bridge if they're gonna try and like cut it. So he's just gonna fling it at both of them to try and like sort of hit them.
Yeah. ahead.
So I'm just gonna do both attacks. I'm guessing the stunned isn't gonna help me get any advantage or anything like that.
The first one gives you advantage. Let's just say he's
Okay,
just,
so-
he's expertly good at whipping people.
Yeah.
So am I rolling with advantage? Sorry.
First one with advantage here because you got
Okay.
that 20, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that is an 18 on the die for a 30.
That hits.
This is the psychic whip again. I'm just gonna refer it to that. That's better than tentacle. So the psychic whip is just gonna basically, it's not even really an attack. It's more just like the actual force of breaking the sound barrier. Just kind of
Yeah,
like
I
knock
see.
some of them out of off the sots, and then the
Combine.
Points of sticky whip damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
A sticky mind whip.
and then the for his bonus action, the exalted maw is gonna attack as well. I just need to remind myself there's nothing. No, that's just a regular weapon. So we're just gonna ignore all that and do another attack, and that is a 28,
Nice. All right.
and that's not great damage. Another 12.
So 31 so far. All right. Very good. All right. As you run across the bridge, Yagu kind of heroically leaps over you, causing the bridge to kind of. Oh, it's more steadier than you thought it was because Yagu is currently big, and as he steps forward with his great axe, Yagu, it's your turn.
Alright, so for Yagu's turn, he is going to take some reckless swings with his great axe. Oh, damn it, that was so close. 25. I was almost in that 20.
25.
So that's gonna be 33 damage.
33 damage. Very good. Okay.
Yeah,
Level
because- yeah.
30. It's a 21, right? So 40, 50, 54? 54 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so carry on.
Okay, and then he's gonna make a second one.
One swing causes like half the goblins to kind of fly off the bridge from one side into the abyss. The second one, same thing.
And
wow, crazy. Whoosh.
It's the same number.
Exactly the same number. Causes the other side to kind of go flying over, and you manage to beat the DC, the threshold of damage,
Amazing.
and you guys go across across this bridge. Immediately the terrain kind of shifts. Now you feel like you're not in a castle anymore, but you're in a deep under layer, or like the underground of some sort of kind of makeshift tunnels and
Catacomb like, sorry.
well, more like in like cracked mountains, and you find yourself going deeper into the earth itself. And as you kind of follow it through, you do see hobgoblins coming from the other side and goblins coming from the side, like spider crawling from the side. All right, that is the end of round 8. It is round 9. Oh, so you guys are doing so far so good. This is Ziggy, you're up.
Yeah, so, do we see any more hobgoblins? I guess we do see more goblins, do we? But
They're everywhere. They're just
yeah.
coming to get you.
I think... Okay, to actually maybe do some damage, I think Ziggy just kind of lets the seeming spell sort of like dissipate for a slight second, and you just see the sleeves of his sort of archmage robes, and he just kind of points his hands, just like, wait. And as he says that, a flutter of cards shoot out of his wrists as I cast a spray of cards with the card sharp deck. It is a free once-a-day casting I get of this, so it is a bit less compared to my regular DC, but it's a DC 15 death save. But I don't want to use my spell slots just yet.
Fair.
Multiple goblins kind of like retreat as these cards flash in the air.
Yeah,
Like,
so it will potentially blind them if they fail the save.
yeah,
They got natural one, so.
yeah. You see
Yeah, I'm
cards
just gonna
stuck on their
spin
eyes.
that.
They start getting screaming as the blindness light comes from them.
Yeah, so 18 points of force damage, and they are
Nice.
blinded.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Whoever attacks next has an advantage. So just a heads up now. 18 points of damage, very good. Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Anything else?
Can I be a bit of a dick? And I can throw a card with the card sharp deck as like a spell attack.
You can be a cog. You guys are cogs after all. Yeah.
It's
God damn
technically a dex-based weapon, this spell. So I was wondering, can I just like also throw a card as like a bonus action with like 2 weapon fighting?
You have 2 weapon fighting?
No, but it's a second attack. No. It's a second weapon. But technically, I can throw a card with my dex. All right, no worries then.
Can you do that
in
as a
that
bonus
case-
action? Is that what you're trying to? Is that a possibility?
Well,
Is that part
I'm
of your-
kinda-
Are you fishing?
So I'm kind of you know, like you can do 2 weapon with a dagger. However, if you don't have the feat for it, it doesn't do your dex modifier damage. This doesn't add to the dex anyway.
Is this an action
So-
to use?
It is an action to throw this card, yes.
Then no, it is not counted
Okay.
as an attack. It is a whole action to use. Then that's how it goes.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Aki Flammacaster, you see all these hobgoblins with cards on their faces, trying to kind of rip it off, but it's just kind of stuck to their faces. They're quite occupied at this situation. What do you do?
Seeing that they're all in front of me and they're starting to line up nicely, Aki will jam the Pathmaker into the ground, kneel down, and he will twin firebolt by grabbing a huge firebolt in one hand and slamming kind of his hand towards the blade and splitting the firebolt towards
Oh,
them.
very nice.
They have a twin shot.
Oh,
Nice. That's awesome.
You said the first one's with advantage because they're blinded, or
Yes. Well, how long does the blinded last? Till the start of their turn?
1 second. I actually haven't used the spell yet. I haven't had a chance to. Just because it's like a 15-foot cone. Till the end of its next turn.
Okay, you take on both with advantage.
oh, nice. That is 30 to hit.
That hits.
Wow.
woo! Big numbers.
12 damage.
Right, 30 damage so far.
I'll add the D10 to the
Yeah,
damage
that's
roll from Ziggy earlier.
Inspiration. 37. Cool.
That's to the damage roll, so it's 19 damage. And then it's advantage on the second firebolt as well, which is same 30 to hit.
That hits.
Consistency.
And
Wow, we're being a really consistent group today.
There.
23 fire damage. Nobody is resistant to this fire damage.
60 points of fire, like damage altogether so far. So far, so good. You see them kind of come and stumble down.
Aki will then just grab the Pathmaker and rearm himself and take
Alright.
no other bonus actions. Yeah.
You see Bruce kind of put his hand on your shoulder, kind of moving you aside, bringing out his kind of blade and ready to push forward. Bruce, it is your turn.
How far away from the bridge are we? Have we gone way past the bridge?
You've just just exited the bridge now. You're on stone, and it seems like there are like tunnels now that kind of lead deeper into the ground itself.
I'd like to use my attack to cut the bridge so that it collapses and then them still on it.
I love the
Down
idea.
they go.
You just roll attack and damage. Just keep it simple like that. But this will do a lot of damage. 24, that hits. Just roll damage.
17 damage.
17 points of damage. The road bridge kind of collapses, and any that were coming from behind just try to kind of leap on, and you can see them kind of falling and down. The bridge just slowly just collapses and disappears into the darkness itself. Screams from underneath can be heard, but ahead of you there are still some hobgoblins with cards still stuck on their faces, so you have advantage against them.
Jolly good.
We are on 77.
I wish my spells worked this well in
That
regular
hits.
combat.
Tyranny rune.
21 hits.
Or
And
15 damage.
15 points of damage, and that is more than enough. You cleave through the rest of them in front of you, and now push forward down. Immediately, as you continue on, you begin to see that there are kind of, containers or boxes or scraps and stuff like that. There are monsters on the floor which are lit in flame by the goblins, and there's fire and lit in random places, kind of lighting the way. Immediately it opens into a massive chamber. Within this chamber you see hundreds and hundreds of bridges that interconnect with each other. Some of the kind of the towering kind of pillars, and on top of that you see some kind of tents or homes that have been created by these goblins and hobgoblins, and immediately you see a couple of people kind of like go open their tents up, and you see them seeing you, and immediately they're all going to actions. They're like a torrent of ants that are going down these kind of pillars and heading towards you, and you know you gotta push through and push on. We are in round 9. Wait, was that round 9? That was round 9.
10, yeah.
Wait, I
Yeah.
don't see what that number was.
Yeah, no, I think it was 10, no? Maybe not.
Oh yeah, now we're around 10, yeah.
Yeah, no, just
You know what?
10.
I'm just gonna make you... Oh no, the number went.
Super Aki! Roar!
Please, not now. Not now.
Kaju Aki.
Kaiju, okay. Yeah, round 10. Bruce, you have a second attack. Test the attack. Go ahead. Oh, you did your 2 attacks, right?
No, I did. I did my 2 attacks. I'm saving my War Priest attack.
Never mind. Harold M. Murphy, your turn.
All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to bonus action turn on Planar Warrior because I'm still trying to save resources. So that's going to be the bonus action. And then action, I'm going to take some more sharpshooter shots. So, nope, that is not it. There we go. All right. And these is going to be a normal roll. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a 27 to hit.
That hits.
Yep, and that'll be
Nice.
34 damage for the first shot.
34 points of damage. Easily. Alright.
All right. And,
flying past. Just dropping dead onto the ground as you continue running through.
And just basically as Errol, as force is going through his bow, basically each time he fires, it's gonna be like gunshots each time.
Amazing.
And second shot is gonna be sharpshooter, and I'm gonna turn on favorite foe in case I hit. So normal. That actually might hit. That's a 22.
That hits, yeah.
So that's
29?
gonna be 29 damage on that one. Yep.
So what we got? 59, 63 points of damage so far. Pretty good. Wait, is that right?
And because of the fact that I've hit 2 different targets, I'm gonna make a third attack.
Go ahead.
Not favorite foe because it is a different person. So just sharpshooter. Okay, why is it not? There we go. There. Oh well.
Oh
Can
dear.
I use an inspiration to re-roll that?
Yeah, you can.
The group inspiration.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, we've got how many? We've got 6. We've got 3 minutes to use them all.
5 left. I
Wow.
used one earlier.
Oh,
Everything's with
4
advantage
now
now.
because. So,
Wait, did we roll a 6? I
just-
didn't even realise.
Mm.
I wasn't
Yeah.
paying attention at the start of the game, obviously.
it's all good. So I'm just gonna turn on the sharpshooter again and get that going. Sorry, this is taking a long time. That's better. That's a dirty 20.
Go ahead.
Have you been having sneak attacks to those attacks you had at advantage, by the way, Joey?
Only the first one did I
Yeah, okay.
have it, but I didn't add sneak attack, and none of these other ones have been advantage.
Okay.
I
just making sure you remember it.
Alright. That's crazy.
30.
93 points of damage in one round.
I mean, the sneak attack will happen automatically, so if you want to add it because Joey player
I-
forgot, it's no biggie. You should do it because your character wouldn't forget, right? So if I just roll the d6.
I mean, it's only. I think it was only like a D6, so that's.
yeah,
not
just
even-
roll it. Come on, every little counts.
Yeah, we're trying to hit. We're trying to
okay, so
hit
let me just-
like a limit every.
Yeah, that's why. So that could be the difference between hitting the DC or not.
All right, so I'll just roll a D6,
Yeah.
and that's just a 1. Yeah. So it's
No. Well, you see. Who knows?
Alright.
Cool.
So far good. 94 points of damage so far, but it's still not
Yeah.
enough. Ruin, you are up.
Okay. Rune's gonna see that we need to do damage, and I hate that I'm the one gonna be using this, but just quick question: does the breath weapon cast an action?
Discord just
Yeah.
froze.
Yeah. No, I
Hello?
was just like I just stopped
Little.
speaking. No, but I think Cisco froze.
It's just yeah, no.
Yeah. Anyway, so you see Ruin on his offhand with actually I'm gonna wait for Andy to come back because this could be fun. So you see with his offhand of the Bahamut whip, sort of like kind of swings his arm back so that all the whip starts to wrap around him again. But instead of just wrapping around his wrist normally, it sort of wraps around and starts to stay in places as certain flaps of it, and it kind of folds into what looks like a weird draconic face, and then it glows brightly, and you realise it doesn't look like a weird fucking dragon's face. It becomes a massive dragon skull on his wrist that he can then just sort of blast out as a cannon, and he's gonna do That attack, which is a 5d10 radiant 30-foot cone.
Whoa.
I don't know what the cone is. I assume it's his spell save DC.
Yes.
No,
the-
it's
what does it
it's
say
a
on
little
it?
bit lower than that.
Oh,
It,
what?
it doesn't say. It says the whip wraps around your arm and transforms it into a dragon's maw, releasing a powerful breath that deals 5d10 radiant
Oh.
damage to enemies and 5d10 healing to all allies. In a
Oh.
30-foot cone.
That's really good.
So I don't know what we're
Yeah.
saying for his DC, but his
Welcome
spell
back.
save DC is 17.
Yeah, sorry, my Discord froze. I don't know what happened.
It's all good. So yeah, basically his arm turns into this draconic cannon, and he just blasts out holy light.
Hold on 1 second. I can figure out what the DC is, what type of DC is.
It does say the other ability that the weapon has uses the character's DC.
Oh yeah, it's the character DC, but what is the save that they have to make? It doesn't
It's
say.
usually
Right?
Dex.
It's just a 30-foot cone.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
So I'm
what the
guessing
DC
Dex, yeah.
If
This is
you-
why I told you you should have let me make it.
So Dex save on my breath weapon.
Yeah, it's a breath weapon, so I'm guessing Dex save.
Ah, yeah, it's a Dex save. Yeah. Not all breath weapons are Dex save, right? I don't think so.
There is some cons ones
Con
as
saves
well.
as well. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
like-
think
Yeah,
there's
but
some
those-
that are con, yeah.
Those are the new ones, like Enerviating or something.
What does it do? Which kind of damage it does?
It's radiant. so-
Radiant damage.
Radiant. So I think it must be Dex, huh? Like
It is
a,
Dex- it's
like a
Dex,
sacred
it is Dex,
flame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what are we
Yeah,
saying?
right,
Are we
cool.
saying it's his paladin Dex save or
It'll
paladin
be
spell
it'll be his
Yeah.
Dex save. Yeah.
So
I
that's
already mentioned that.
a 17, and it's 5d10 radiant. But I don't think any of us have taken damage. So, but you just see he points this sort of blast at everybody, and just hopes it even though it hits people, they feel like actual healing for it, but everybody else takes damage
Yeah.
because it does heal allies.
Indeed. Let's roll damage.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna save the other ability for him. That is 19 points of radiant damage.
Alright, 19 points of radiant damage.
And
Alright.
if I can use 2 weapon fighting as a bonus action, I'll also do that.
Well, you
'Cause he
don't need
actually
to
has it.
because that pushes past the threshold for this round, moving it to round 11. But we will stop here, and I'll just say, as you release this kind of breath weapon, it kind of glows this kind of whole chamber up, and as it does, you begin to see that there are still hundreds and hundreds of goblins heading kind of towards you. And as the camera kind of pans away, and you guys are kind of running through this all, we will stop here and come back next week to see where it leads to and where Errol's Rift's banner takes you to. So
Yeah.
that is where we'll stop. Hold up, where this music needs to. There you go. Thank you everyone for watching at home, and thanks everyone for playing. Hopefully there is no game actually tomorrow for Iowa
Yeah.
observation, unfortunately, but they will come back not next week but the week after, I think it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
2 weeks off. Yeah.
Yeah, you may have missed Sunday's the Hearts of War, but I think there is a Hearts of War
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah,
So,
there is.
Yeah, so
Amazing.
hopefully catch them in the Hearts of War campaign there, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week to see where these guys continue their journey through the through Dragonspear Castle, while the underground of it now, and see where that leads to. So have a great week. We'll catch you then. Stay magical and see you then. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Stay magical. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.